It's Wednesday, November 19th. Today's speech from the throne, the Canoe government's priorities include the end of sick notes and the start of a new push for a safe consumption site. Hydro and gas rates, why one consumer group says the Crown Utilities' anticipated increases will place an unsustainable burden on some ratepayers. And the Fab Four is again in the spotlight as a new documentary release marks 30 years since the original Beatles anthology. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley McPhail is in Bozer this morning. She's going to tell us about Christmas on the Park. There's a lot going on there. It's going to be sort of like a Hallmark movie transformation.
Oh, I love it.
So she's going to take us through some of the really cool installations and what's going on there as well. But the weather, again, it continues to just be remarkable.
You know, I think about this when you mentioned like Hallmark movies, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And how many times they have to fake snow. And here we are this late in the year. Where is the snow? You know, and hang tight. Probably only a week away from seeing some of that. But still, the gorgeous weather will continue for the rest of this week. It is still looking spectacularly mild. 3 degrees is where we begin the day. Yeah, that's +3 already. A normal high would be -3. A normal low, -12. So nothing at all normal about the temperatures that we're experiencing, but they are very, very pleasant. And the winds are light out of the south, 10 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 77%. We had a few breaks in those clouds, but that won't last for long. And in fact, by the time the sun is up, those clouds will have already closed in again. There was a little bit of precipitation that passed through in the overnight hours. You're perhaps going to wake up and see that the streets are wet. It was mostly shower activity because it was so very mild. Off to the east, you can see a little bit of snow, and there will be more snow coming in to parts of northern Manitoba. We'll see on the Futurecast how things kind of play out through the day. So arcing throughout much of northern Manitoba, you will perhaps see some flurry activity passing through. And then there's the shower activity that will be moving off to the east of us. We'll see these clouds kind of closing in again, lasting throughout the day, but starting to clear out overnight. And by tomorrow, we're back to very sunny conditions and mild as well. Now, today might be a little bit warmer than tomorrow when the sunshine returns, but the entire week is still looking to be well above seasonal, staying up in the plus digits with those daytime highs. 5 degrees expected today. We'll still make some gains yet, and then lots of sunshine as we look toward the end of the week and the weekend, with that chance of precipitation to come, perhaps in flurry form for next week.
Thank you, Terry. The NDP government made major promises in its throne speech Tuesday. It includes a machete ban, no more sick notes, and another attempt to create a supervised consumption site. CTV's Jeff Keel reports.
In this year's throne speech, the Premier is trying again to establish a supervised drug consumption site.
This facility is ready to go.
The last one planned for Disraeli Freeway in Point Douglas was scrapped after public backlash to the location. Now, the province says one will be up and running in January, somewhere west of Main Street.
We've listened, and we want to ensure that people are getting the supports that they need in and around where people are using.
The Premier says there is a bit more consultation to do on the new location, but critics accuse him of ramming this new plan through.
We have been speaking out against a supervised consumption site, so when the Premier doesn't get his way, he just goes around the rules.
The speech was big on health care promises to eliminate sick notes for absences up to 7 days, offer a digital health card option, a new patient portal for lab results, allow pharmacists to provide birth control, and establish new laws to create a patient charter and mandatory OT starting with nurses and require a set patient staffing ratio. The Premier is confident his government has hired enough new healthcare workers to pull this off, saying it's now up to health authorities and hospitals.
We're going to say, we've given you the staff, now you have to solve this problem.
I think this is really encouraging with that, concern of, okay, well, what are the details of this?
Other highlights include a study to try and find new ways to save money on groceries, new rules to stop unfair rent increases. A Manitoba company will take over the Park Pass contract from a Texas firm, a livestock inspection program for beef operations, a northern airport scanner, and a ban on dangerous weapons like machetes in parks and buses.
Banning of weapons in public spaces is something that I know I and our council will absolutely support.
And there was what was missing from the speech: The Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce says they didn't dislike anything that was in there, but
if action is the currency of government, our economy got a little shortchanged in the throne speech.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Canoe also committed to no new tax hikes in the spring budget. The Premier says it is a very narrow path now to balance the books, so they will have to walk a fine line. A group representing Manitoba consumers is raising concerns over Manitoba Hydro's request for a nearly 11% rate hike over the coming years.
Overall, the Consumers Coalition believes that these rate increases will be unnecessarily hard for many Manitobans.
Public Interest Law Centre is representing the Consumers Coalition of public hearings over the rate application. The hearings began Monday. Hydro is asking for a 3.5% increase in each of the next 3 years. It means the average natural gas customer would be paying additional $137 a year. For electric heat customers, it's another $362 per year.
Our client's view is that Hydro is essentially asking Manitobans to trust them when it files an application that shows, in our client's view, not enough efforts to reduce costs internally and relies heavily on placeholder budgets for significant capital projects in the future.
In its lengthy petition to the Public Utilities Board, Hydro says the increases are necessary due to drought and low water levels, aging infrastructure, and to maintain the debt ratio. In an email statement, a Hydro spokesperson says the utility strongly believes its proposal enables Hydro to meet its mandate to provide safe, reliable, and affordable energy while meeting the future needs of Manitobans. The spokesperson adds anyone struggling to pay their bills can request payment arrangements. People living in Morden will be placed under a precautionary boil water advisory next week. The city says the move is necessary because of work being done on a new pipe at the Morden water treatment plant. Starting Monday at 8 in the morning, people are asked to boil any water that will be used for drinking, preparing food, or brushing teeth. You're asked to bring the water to a rolling boil for at least a minute. It should look like what's on your screen right now. The city says the advisory will remain in effect for up to several weeks. During this time, officials are asking residents to conserve water as much as possible. Federal workers are still waiting for word on which jobs will be cut as a result of the new budget. The union representing thousands of public servants says they should hear something soon.
We haven't heard any new information. The budget just passed. We expect that our members would be notified by their managers shortly.
The government plans to reduce the size of the federal public service by 28,000 jobs by 2029. It's part of the budget's plan to find $60 billion in savings over the next 5 years. As part of the comprehensive expenditure review, the government will reduce 16,000 full-time equivalent positions, including 650 executive spots. Another 12,000 positions will be eliminated through attrition and early retirement packages. Government House Leader Steve McKinnon said that he believes the impact on people with involuntary departures will be minimal. 30 years after the original version of the Beatles anthology series aired, a newly restored version is coming to Disney+.
We never had much privacy. Everybody's saying, oh, there's more people here than came to see the Queen. I should think so. She didn't have any hit records.
The 9-episode series will air over 3 nights beginning November 26th. The original series had 8 episodes and contained interviews with Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison, along with archival interviews with John Lennon. This extra episode will include unreleased footage of then surviving Beatles from 1995. The Winnipeg Jets received a warm welcome at home Tuesday night after playing a 6-game stretch on the road.
Picked up and burned a lot of truck. Chased down by Lowry, back to the line. Pionk is locked and loaded. He's in the corner. Niederreiter. Lowry scores!
Winnipeg Jets captain Adam Lowry and Neil Pionk both scored their first goal of the season in Tuesday's match against the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was also Mark Scheifele's 898th game, the most played in franchise history. The final score Tuesday night was Jets 5, Jackets 2. Fans returned to Canada Life Centre Friday night for a matchup against the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drop is at 7. Here's a look at what's happening now on the Norwood Bridge. Things look really good to start off this Wednesday morning. Nothing to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see problems out on the streets, please let us know. Let's go now to Bozer, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. You'd think that I was in a Hallmark movie if you walked into Pennyweight Market right now in Bozer. Christmas on Park. It's been going on for a week so far, and you've got another week to take advantage of the fantastic deals at the local shops or the various activities. And if you grab yourself a passport, you can just stamp it as you bump along through the activities. On Friday, they close off the street and they turn it into an extravaganza full of activities, performances, fire pits, food, and so much more. So throughout the morning, we're going to be chatting with the business owners, tons of local products in here. I myself am kind of looking at a lollipop. And we're also going to be heading to the floor merchants later on as well. They are duking it out right now, Rochelle, for best decorated, and I understand that people can vote. So you're going to have to come to Bozer to check it out.
So fun, and get a start on your shopping. All right, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's another gorgeous start to the day.
It really is. So incredibly mild, and it's going to stay that way throughout the day today. Conditions very similar to yesterday, though. We will be lacking in sunshine. Heavier clouds are going to be closing in on us again. There was a little bit of precipitation that rolled through last night, and I noticed some wet streets when I stepped outside this morning. So as far as precipitation goes, that's pretty much moved off to the east in liquid form for a lot of it, although there might be some scattered flurries off and on through parts of northwestern Ontario and then northern Manitoba. A bit of precipitation for you as well. 2 degrees, that's where we're sitting right now, on the plus side of freezing, with winds on the lighter side, just 10 kilometers per hour out of the south-southwest. The pressure right now, it's falling. The humidity sitting at 81%. And I mentioned the precipitation moving across northern Manitoba. That will most likely be in flurry form. Heavier clouds pretty much blanketing the province for another day. By tomorrow, in fact by tonight, the sky begins to clear here through southern Manitoba, and that'll set us up for plenty of sunshine throughout Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Today's Wednesday? I think so. Anyway, for tomorrow, expect sunnier conditions here in the south. For northern Manitoba, still likely to deal with some extra clouds throughout tomorrow. We're looking at these plus-digit temperatures, though, to carry us through the week and into the weekend. Not until next week will things start to look a little wintry here in Winnipeg. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Good morning. It will soon be a lot faster and easier to visit Europe. WestJet is expanding its global connections from our city with new direct flights. Starting this June, the airline will provide a weekly flight from Winnipeg to Reykjavik, Iceland. In addition, WestJet is also creating 2 new domestic routes for our city. A 3 times weekly service between Winnipeg and London, Ontario, and a weekly year-round flight from Winnipeg to Cancun. On Tuesday, just a day after Mark Carney's government narrowly dodged a budget bullet and a Christmas election, the opposition made it clear don't expect smooth sailing ahead. CTV's Mike Le Couture now on what happened in the House.
I declare the motion carried on division.
Another day, another confidence vote that the Liberals survive.
No, there's going to be one a day for a long time.
Behind the sarcasm is some truth about votes to come. Yesterday's budget vote only passed because a number of opposition MPs abstained.
We hope that opposition parties will continue to dialogue constructively with us about how we can potentially make those things better, but mostly so that we can make Parliament work.
But the Bloc Québécois is promising a rough ride.
So they will live the same anxiety that we have seen this morning, because at each step of this long process, including the committee, they will have to start all over again because they were not good partners for anybody.
Some opposition MPs said they reluctantly voted to pass the budget instead of plunging the country into a Christmas election.
Maybe 6 of one, half a dozen the other, but the country's got to change direction.
There will be other confidence votes as the budget works its way through the implementation process. And one NDP MP who abstained yesterday says his support isn't guaranteed.
Absolutely confident that I'll be holding this government to account, and we'll be fighting hard for everyday people.
And the Prime Minister says his budget is for those same people who need social programs like childcare, dental care, and pharmacare.
I salute the 170 members of the House who supported it. I'm glad it came through.
and we're going to continue to work on implementing it.
The Prime Minister now heads to the UAE and the G20. And because of how close last night's vote was, it's unlikely the Liberals will test the confidence of the House until Mark Carney returns next week. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
The province's throne speech yesterday also included a special commitment for a Winnipeg high school. A new scoreboard and bleachers will be installed at Sisler High School in memory of Darius Hartshorn. The 17-year-old football player passed away in October, several days after sustaining a serious neck injury during a game. The province says the upgrades will support his family, team, and school community. The Washington State Health Department reported Friday that a resident has been hospitalized with bird flu. It's the first reported case of bird flu in a human in the U.S. in 9 months. Officials also say the patient is infected with a strain of the virus that hasn't been seen in humans before. It's unknown how the older patient caught the virus. Health leaders are contacting people who may have been in close contact with the man to check for symptoms. Newly re-signed Bombers head coach Mike O'Shea addressed the media for the first time Tuesday since the club announced he's back for another 3 seasons.
There's obviously a whole pile of reasons, but we built something pretty damn special here, so you'd like to continue that. The season didn't work out the way we wanted, but I think there's still a lot of growth to be had.
There was speculation Coach O'Shea may have been looking to go elsewhere, particularly Toronto, after the Argos head coach left for Ottawa. Without elaborating, O'Shea says he was exploring an opportunity during his talks with the Argos, but ultimately he says his family has carved out a home for themselves here in Winnipeg, and he still sees plenty of potential with the blue and gold.
Well, it's a great sporting city. The fans are unbelievable. I've always said this, highly educated. They show up in droves. Obviously, we set an attendance record for our club, and all the sellouts, the support you get around the community is phenomenal.
The coming season will be O'Shea's 12th with Winnipeg. He has a franchise record of 117 wins to 77 losses. O'Shea has led the Bombers to 5 straight Grey Cup appearances between 2019 and 2024 and 2 titles in 2019 and 2021. Don't be alarmed if you get an alarm on your phone today. You should hear that sound at 1:55 in the afternoon. It's because the province is testing its Alert Ready system. Officials say the alert will be sent to televisions, radios, and compatible wireless devices. However, it warns not every cell phone will get the alert due to compatibility issues or cell tower coverage. The Manitoba government says the test is needed to ensure it will work efficiently during an actual emergency. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane is closed on Dugald Road from Plessis to Guy-Savoie. The northbound curb lane is also closed on Keewatin between Manitoba and Pritchard. And following the rush, expect lane closures on Pembina at Bison Drive for communications work. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please text them at 10400.
Looking now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. We are dealing with a few extra clouds today, but some very mild and well above seasonal temperatures. Just to give you a reference of what is normal for this time of year, for southern Manitoba, -12 would be a seasonal low temperature. We're on the plus side of freezing, and along this eastern border that is the case. Along the western border it's a little bit cooler, that is a +2, sorry. -4 right now in Brandon, -1 in Portage, or right at the freezing mark through parts of west central Manitoba. Even northern Manitoba, talk about a mild start for you. Just a few degrees below the freezing mark, as cool as -7 in Lynn Lake, but again, well above what you would expect for this time of year. But heavier clouds pretty much blanketing the province once again, with another round of precipitation. It's just hanging out in flurry form off to the west, but that will eventually be arcing through much of northern Manitoba. And while showers moved through last night, they have tapered off here in Manitoba, but that activity pushing further to the east throughout parts of northwestern Ontario. As we continue on through the day today, mainly cloudy conditions are expected, but we're already on the plus side of freezing, and we'll continue to make some gains today. Not only will the temperatures be incredibly mild, the winds will be light as well. 2 degrees as kids get settled into the classroom, 4 degrees by lunchtime, and 5 are expected high temperature today by the time kids are coming home from school. Now, 5 today, it won't be quite as warm for the next couple of days, but we we will see an improvement with the sunshine, but even though it's not quite as warm, we'll drop off by 1 degree or 3. And sunny conditions are expected not just for the rest of the week, through the weekend and into the start of next week, but early next week, temperatures start to drop off. There will be signs of precipitation that could very well show up in flurry form. And this is cool, seeing the ice forming out in the Ingolf area. Thanks to Mike for the photo. And keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. Lightning will strike with the Manitoba Theatre for Young People's newest production, and we want you to be there. The Lightning Thief is a musical adaptation of the popular novel. It follows Percy Jackson as he discovers he's the son of a Greek god and goes on a quest to find Zeus's missing lightning bolt. The Lightning Thief runs December 5th to the 28th at MTYP, and we have a family pack of 4 tickets to give away. To enter, fill out the form on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, with the keyword adventure. Good luck. Canada is on the verge of a new era in treating Alzheimer's disease, with new medications on the horizon. But as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, experts are worried our system isn't prepared to handle the changes.
Last month, Health Canada gave approval for the first disease-modifying drug for Alzheimer's, lecanemab.
There's another in for approval, and so for the first time ever in Canada, we have some potential of disease-modifying therapies for people facing early Alzheimer's disease.
But provincial funding for the drug has yet to be settled, and there's another key roadblock to patients getting it. It's only useful for those in early stages of Alzheimer's, and you need a formal diagnosis.
Getting a diagnosis early in the disease progression is actually very challenging right now. Most people show up at primary care when the disease has progressed actually quite significantly. It's when it becomes a problem in people's daily life.
He's just tired. He works a lot.
When Lee Laforet's husband was seeking a diagnosis for his forgetfulness and confusion in 2016, they faced a lot of resistance.
They call it the longest goodbye for a reason, because every day when you wake up, you don't know what you're going to get. We got the testing done, but we didn't know the results for 6 months because we couldn't get to see a neurologist.
Dr. Jaspreet Bangu says not only is there a shortage of knowledgeable family physicians, but new diagnostic methods on the horizon will mean an even greater need for specialists in the near future.
To detect amyloid via a blood test. It's a very exciting field that we're hoping will start to blossom and provide better access for patients in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right now, PET scans are the gold standard for diagnosis.
It's quite expensive, and there's not very many PET scanners. We only have about 40 in all of Canada. What's going to be important, though, is if patients don't have a way to access a provider, if we don't have enough providers who understand the symptoms and understand when to use the test, and then if we don't have enough specialists on the other end to provide the extra testing necessary, then we're going to have the bottlenecks we see now.
Dr. Bangu says right now, from testing to treatment can take 1.5 to 3 years, and that is precious time for families dealing with dementia. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Planning on starting my Christmas decorations inside my home this weekend on Saturday with the family. We usually do kind of a tree decorating party kind of thing.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so we're going to do it on Saturday. The outside's ready to go, but it's the inside that still feels a little bit like fall.
Look at you, so proactive. I haven't even started. I have started watching Hallmark movies.
Oh,
so
yes.
I feel like that's kind of gotten me.
That kind of gets you there.
But yeah, no, I'm not really there just yet. That's because it's been so incredibly mild. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around where we're headed. 2 degrees right now, so we are on the plus side of freezing, and that's to kick off our morning. It's only going to continue to warm up throughout the day today. We do have some heavier clouds hanging around, and they'll continue to stack up. But the winds are light out of the south-southwest, just 10 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 81%. With those clouds building up, there will be another round of precipitation. Here through southern Manitoba, it was rain that passed through last night. You'll notice some wet streets that you're waking up up to this morning. The bulk of that has moved off further to the east. Northwestern Ontario, still some mixed precipitation, some flurries, some showers, some freezing rain in there. Those got all the colors showing up. And then across northern Manitoba, another round of precipitation in frozen form. Flurries are expected across the north. Here, we're just going to deal with the clouds throughout much of southern Manitoba today, and 5 degrees is where we're headed with those temperatures. That puts us well above seasonal. I mean, we're at 2 degrees, which is already above a normal daytime high. -3, that would be normal for high temperatures. -12, a normal low. But tonight, we're only dropping down to -1, so still above those seasonal highs, never mind anywhere close to normal lows for this time of year. We will have those winds shifting slightly out of the northwest at about 10 kilometers per hour, remaining on the lighter side tomorrow, shifting again with those winds out of the west, picking up ever so slightly. The sky begins to clear. Well, actually, those clouds start to clear overnight, but continues to clear throughout the day tomorrow, and suddenly we're back to the sunshine again. And these mild temperatures, they're going to continue throughout the rest of the week. Into the weekend, in fact, we'll still be remaining in the plus digits. For next week, that's when we're going to start to notice a bit of a change up. It'll start out fine on Monday, 3 degrees and sunny. But by the time Tuesday rolls around, we're at the freezing mark with the precipitation beginning. And from there, it does look like it's going to be a little bit cooler in the days past Tuesday.
A driver was airlifted to hospital with serious injuries following a 2-vehicle crash in the Whiteshell area. RCMP were called just before 6 p.m. Monday to Highway 1 at Falcon Creek Road, just west of Falcon Lake. One driver, a 68-year-old man, was transported to hospital by Stars Air Ambulance. A 40-year-old woman who was driving the other vehicle sustained minor injuries. The crash shut down the eastbound lanes of the Trans-Canada Highway for several hours Monday evening into the early morning hours of Tuesday. The crash is under investigation. An iconic building left in disrepair at Higgins in Maine is on track to get a facelift. Thunderbird House will get a major revamp thanks to a $27 million federal grant. As CTV's Harrison Shin explains, the announcement is bringing a healing to some Indigenous community members.
New hope is on the way to the Circle of Life Thunderbird House.
Everybody in the office was pretty ecstatic. Yeah, over a third of our employee workforce is Indigenous.
Director Peter Parkman's company Arrow will take on the repair of this building's copper roof. What started as a gathering space for the Indigenous community 25 years ago has become an eyesore at Maine and Higgins.
It deteriorated due to people stealing the copper from the roof during the pandemic. So that's the reason why the building has fallen into disrepair.
Thunderbird House was taken over by community advocates in May this year who said they wanted to restore its original purpose of cultural healing, gathering, and unity.
We've heard from members of the community that we didn't think we're aware of what was going on, and they've reached out and expressed their absolute joy that work is finally getting done.
Michael Red at Champaign once said in his blog, quote, "The health of Indigenous people in Winnipeg can be seen in the upkeep and maintenance of the building." He hopes for unity going forward.
I think the next step for the Thunderbird House is for both of the groups that have been active at the Thunderbird House, both at the board and at the Occupy level, both have opportunities to have their voices heard and their concerns raised.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
For the second time in less than a month, Alberta is invoking the notwithstanding clause, this time over 3 transgender laws.
We've said previously that we're prepared to use every single legal and constitutional tool available to protect the well-being of young people. And that's why we'll be invoking the notwithstanding clause.
If passed, it will prevent anyone from challenging the province in court over the 3 laws. They were passed more than a year ago and affect transgender and gender-diverse youth in healthcare, in schools, and in competitive sports. Constitutional court challenges have already been launched against 2 of the laws. Premier Danielle Smith says the government is obligated to use the clause now to protect children. Last month, it was used to stop the 3-week-long teacher strike. Sweden's royal family will start day 2 of their Canadian visit today. On their first day in Canada, King Carl Gustaf the 16th and Queen Sylvia were welcomed at Rideau Hall in Ottawa. They also met with Prime Minister Mark Carney before taking part in a state dinner. The royals also brought along a delegation to pitch their Gripen fighter jet.
It would mean Canadian jobs in Canada. It would be a Swedish fighter jet, world class, but it would be a true partnership.
Sweden is selling the Gripen to Canada as the ideal fighter jet for Arctic defense. Its maker, Saab, also says a deal to buy the jets could bring as many as 10,000 jobs to Canada. Our country currently has a deal to buy F-35 jets from the U.S. Officials in Canada and Sweden are suggesting there is room for both jets in our military fleet. Some of the top curlers in the country are in Winnipeg this week for the 2025 Canadian Curling Club Championships. The event at Winnipeg's Granite Curling Club features both men's and women's club championship teams from each province. On the men's side, Manitoba is represented by Derek Anderson's rink from Gimli, and Lindsay Workington's team from Fort Garry Curling Club is on the women's side.
This is phenomenal for our club and the community. Like I said, we haven't hosted a national championship in Winnipeg of this scale in a while. They're pretty rare. So whenever we get the chance, it's amazing. And we have a lot of our members that are going to come and watch it. We have a team of 100+ volunteers that are making this event go around.
The championships run all week, wrapping up with the finals Sunday. The club is also hosting some entertainment each night, including live music and comedians. You can find tickets and live scores by visiting curling.ca. Winnipeg's snowplows will soon have a little more personality. Kids in Winnipeg will want to put their thinking toques on. Mayor Scott Gillingham says they'll be asked to name the city's snowplows in a new contest. More details are expected in the coming weeks. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are moving well here, starting off this Wednesday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, please let us know. And here's a look at your gas prices. The lowest price in Winnipeg right now is sitting at $1.18.9. This info comes from GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, Ainsley McPhail is live in Bozer this morning telling us all about Christmas on the Park. We're going to tell you what that's all about. Stay with us.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
All right, it is so beautiful out here this morning. Do you know what? I was just putting my gloves on and then I started thinking about it. I don't need the gloves this time of year. Well, not this time of year. Typically this time of year, we would most definitely need the gloves, maybe even the toque. Not the case this morning because we're so far above seasonal. There's nothing at all normal about the temperatures that we're experiencing. It's 2 degrees right now and it's beautiful out here with barely a breeze. 10K winds are out of the south-southwest at the moment, with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 81%. Now, we do have mainly cloudy conditions and that'll be the case throughout the day today. In fact, there was a little bit of precipitation that rolled through last night, so you might notice some wet streets that you're waking up to, but the bulk of that precipitation has now pushed off to the east, falling through parts of northwestern Ontario in mixed form. It's still very mild there. And moving in to northern Manitoba for later on today, flurry activity. That's right now hanging around in Saskatchewan, but that will be arcing up into parts of northern Manitoba beginning about midday and continuing through the afternoon. Through the afternoon, our temperatures are going to climb. We're looking at a well above normal high today of 5 degrees in Winnipeg. We've got Ainsley McPhail out and about talking about the holidays regardless of the temps. Hey Ainsley, what's going on?
Good morning, Terry. We're in Bozer, Christmas on Park. They're going to, here in Bozer, they're going to close off that whole street on Friday. But before that, come on into some of the businesses. Caitlin Cunningham joins us now to tell us all about this fantastic event. So, Caitlin, you're making it a little bit easy for people because you've got a passport.
Yes.
So how does it all work?
Yes, so we have this passport here. We have over 50 participating businesses this year. All of the businesses are included in the passport. So we encourage the public to go around to all of the businesses throughout this entire week to collect their passport stamps. They can shop the deals in the businesses. They can enter giveaways. There's in-store activities. There's so many things going on.
Mm-hmm. And the whole idea is to shop local,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So what's the variety?
All sorts of things. I mean, we're here at Pennyweight, which is kind of a general bulk food store. We have candle stores involved. We have our floral merchant. We have other things too, like there's backcountry heating and cooling. Our local gym is involved, our animal hospital. It's really a huge range of businesses involved.
Mm-hmm. And I touched on the Friday festivities, yes, even more. And we're talking live performances, places to warm up.
Yes, yeah, tons of things going on Friday night as well. We have the whole street closed down from 5:30 till 8:30 that night. And we have the businesses open who are on Park Avenue, and then everyone who is located outside of Park Avenue also can come down. They set up their booths, they set up displays. There's really a lot going on. We have hay bale mazes, tons of different performances. We have a drum circle, we have dance performances, we do a tree lighting. There's lots going on.
A lot goes into this. You were saying that you guys were thinking about things back in the spring.
Yes, yeah, we've been thinking about it for a very long time. We start getting the businesses involved throughout the summer to give them lots of time to plan out their things, lots of time to get prepared for the event.
It puts, I mean, me specifically, I guess I can only speak for myself, but it really does put you in a mood. Like coming in here, for example, it just gives you that warm feeling. When you're at the event, paint a picture for me.
Well, our goal is to make it feel like you walked right into a Hallmark Christmas movie. So we like to make it feel magical. It doesn't seem like we're going to have much snow this year for it. But either way, we try to make it, like, light it up, make it feel very Christmassy. We have Christmas music playing, lots of Christmas decorations. We encourage all of the businesses to really light up their fronts and put everything out that they can.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, the closure is happening on Friday on Park. Coming up later in the show, we're chatting with the mayor of Bozer. Yeah.
The markets are down across the board this morning. The Dow index is down 498 points. The Nasdaq is off 275. The S&P 500 also down at 55 points. The Canadian dollar dipped slightly. Overseas, the Hang Seng has dropped 99 points, and the Nikkei is off by 165 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. A wave of relief in Carberry. An overpass will be built at the intersection where a tragic crash killed 17 people. The Premier confirmed this during Tuesday's speech from the throne. CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows us how residents are reacting.
Every time I go out and cross that road or at any time, I think about that bus.
Carberry's Robert Goodridge spent 35 years working at a maintenance job in town. He says he nearly had a collision at this intersection while operating a snowplow. Goodridge is hopeful an overpass will reduce the number of accidents going forward.
I came close to cutting the top off a car with that plow, and it scared me pretty bad.
On June 15th, 2023, a semi-truck and a seniors bus collided here, killing 17 people and injuring 8. This incident prompted calls for changes at the junction of the Trans-Canada Highway and Provincial Highway 5. Calls were heated Tuesday in the provincial throne speech as the province announced plans for an overpass.
This intersection is different now than any other intersection in Manitoba because of the loss of life and how sad it was to see those seniors passing away. It means that we have that extra responsibility to listen to community voices on this.
The Premier says the project could cost north of $100 million. Carberry Mayor Ray Muirhead says that's justified. People in the community are still talking about the tragic loss of life to this day.
Do you put a price on safety? I mean, safety has to come first. If there's anything, they didn't pass away in vain, those people. I mean, it gives rise to what's being done today. So hopefully there will be countless people saved from this overpass.
He says the overpass will have safety benefits beyond the town.
I think it's going to be a major safety gain for us, for everybody that travels that highway, so we're happy about it.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Premier says Carberry and Dauphin will be consulted on the design plans. No timeline has been announced. A man is dead after being shot by an RCMP officer Tuesday. RCMP say officers arrived at a home in Sagging First Nation around 6:30 Tuesday morning. The service says that's where officers found a man holding a knife. He was shot after what RCMP described as an encounter. The 29-year-old was taken to hospital but later died. RCMP say the officers involved were wearing body cameras, and the footage will be turned over to the Independent Investigation Unit of Manitoba. Computers, video game consoles, and cell phones are just an everyday part of our lives. You might even be using one right now. However, that wasn't the case just a few decades ago. That's why 2 Winnipeggers are creating the Manitoba Computer and Gaming Museum. It's a nonprofit dedicated to classic computers and video game console history. Exhibits, classes, and hands-on experiences will teach younger generations about these vintage machines. Right now, the museum doesn't have a permanent home, but organizers hope to open one in the next couple of years, but they need help growing their archive first.
We have an open call for donations for those computers that happen to be in your basement, happen to be just kind of sitting around doing nothing. That computer has a story to tell, and the Manitoba Computer and Gaming Museum hopes to tell that story.
The museum plans to have more pop-up events in the weeks to come. For information, check out mcgmuseum.ca. Top bull riders from across the country will soon buck their way into Brandon. Canada's Professional Bull Riders Cup Series is coming to the Wheat City next spring at Assiniboine Credit Union Place. On May 1st and 2nd, fans will witness 8-second rides as courageous athletes face off against their 1,800-pound opponents. This will be the only event in Manitoba as part of the Cup Series next season. Tickets for the event go on sale this Friday at ticketmaster.ca. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane is closed on Dougald Road from Plessis to Guy-Savoie. The northbound curb lane is also closed on Keewatin between Manitoba and Pritchard. And following the rush, expect lane closures on Pembina at Bison Drive for communications work. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us.
2 degrees to kick off your morning. That's +2 that we're waking up to right now. South-southwest winds, they're only 10 kilometers per hour, very light. With the pressure falling, the humidity is sitting at 81%. There was a brief bit of precipitation that passed through last night. The bulk of that has now moved off to the east. You can see it's still showing up in mixed form through parts of northwestern Ontario. You can also see in Saskatchewan right now all of this activity that's just kind of brewing later on this afternoon. That'll be moving up across much of northern Manitoba. So flurries or maybe some mixed precipitation possible through northern Manitoba. Your temperatures, too, are expected to be well above seasonal. For example, -11 would be a normal daytime high in Churchill. Instead, you're headed to -6. -10, a normal high in Thompson, and -3 is where you're headed this afternoon. Northwestern Manitoba, around -7 would be average temperatures. In places like Flin Flon and the Pas, you're only going to end up a couple degrees below the freezing mark. But yes, that very good chance that pretty much all of northern Manitoba, beginning about midday and continuing through the afternoon, can expect to see some precipitation passing through. Most of southern Manitoba is just going to be on the cloudier side, and plus digits for us when -3 would be a normal daytime high. We'll also have fairly light winds expected today. There might be a couple of places who still could see a little bit of that precipitation as it continues to push off to the east, but for the most part it's just going to be on the cloudier side, and then things will actually clear out overnight, setting us up for sunshine for tomorrow. And we talked about the mixed precipitation just to the east of us. Much of northwestern Ontario can still expect a bit of a rain-snow mix, or for some, just straight-up showers through the day today. Now, the rest of this week is looking to be quite bright and clear for the weekend as well. Into next week, the sunshine continues, as do these plus-digit temperatures. But by Tuesday, it starts to cool down with some mixed precipitation to come. And after Tuesday, you're going to notice those temperatures dropping off.
Despite a 19% decrease across Canada, grand theft auto continues to cost Canadians more than $1 billion each year. This according to a new report that unveiled the top 10 most stolen vehicles in 2024. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
No one wants to have their vehicle stolen. The headaches with replacing it, the expense, dealing with police and insurance is a major hassle.
I went out of the house and the car that is normally there was gone.
Rebecca Cuthbertson of Stratford was visiting family in Toronto when her car was stolen last night. It was found in a school parking lot this morning, likely waiting there to be scooped up by thieves.
It does feel like a violation. Just that she's got her back window smashed, and I'm not allowed to touch the car, go into it. It's been taken for fingerprinting.
Cuthbertson's 2019 Honda Civic is one of the most stolen cars in Canada. Topping the list nationally is the Toyota RAV4, a favorite for thieves worldwide.
It's very serviceable globally. It's a good utility vehicle, meaning it can be used in a variety of terrains and jurisdictions.
In Ontario, the Honda CR-V is the most stolen vehicle, followed by the Dodge Ram 1500 series, Honda Civic, Jeep Wrangler, and Ford F-150 series. Rounding out the top 10, the Toyota Tundra, Lexus RX, the RAV4, Toyota Highlander, and Land Rover Range Rover series. Even though the auto insurance industry lost $1 billion to auto theft last year, investigators say at least when it comes to stealing cars, the trend is going down and not up. There was an overall decrease in auto theft across Canada of 19%, but in the first half of this year, auto thefts in Ontario were down by almost 26%.
we're not out of the woods yet, but definitely continuing doing what we're doing and combating this vehicle crime to make Canadians safe.
As for Cuthbertson, she refers to her car as Grace and can't wait to get her back.
I'm glad they found her. It's going to be a few days before I can have access to her again. I am very happy she's been found.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
New data is providing a fresh look at how Canada is losing highly skilled immigrants and why they are now choosing to leave. CTV's Judy Trin has more.
A Canadian citizen, so it's just like it doesn't matter sometimes.
Ankit Mishra immigrated from India in 2006. He has 2 master's degrees and expertise in AI. He's bilingual, yet the trained economist is not getting opportunities in Canada, so he's looking overseas.
I get overlooked for like a lot of roles for like the minus reason as possible. For example, fluency in French isn't native enough.
Canada's most capable immigrants are in fact most likely to leave.
A new study by the Institute for Canadian Citizenship analyzed 40 years of immigration data and found that 1 out of 5 permanent residents leaves Canada within 25 years. Those with a doctorate leave at twice the rate of someone with a bachelor's degree. They're also more likely to move sooner.
The 5-year departure rate for immigrant healthcare workers is 36%. That's the same for scientists. The 5-year departure rate for experienced executives is 193% above average.
By 2031, the Institute projects that more than 20,000 immigrants will leave Canada. Human resource professionals say the government is good at recruiting, but needs to develop policies to retain highly skilled immigrants and do better at recognizing the value of their foreign work credentials.
The main thing is just really giving people that sense of inclusion, that sense of belonging, that sense that they can contribute their, bring all the whole assets, knowledge, skills, and experience they have.
The federal government plans to reduce its immigration levels over the next 3 years in the middle of a trade war. Experts say that will further cut into the international talent pool needed to grow Canada's economy.
Now here's some proof that the love of performing starts at a young age.
Because I want to stop. Thank you, baby, because I want to stop.
This is Luciano at just 3 years old belting out how sweet it is to be loved by you. The now 9-year-old shot to fame after appearing on Britain's Got Talent. Nearly 5 million people have watched this and believe he's got what it takes to make it big. This is what's happening on the Provencher Bridge. Things are looking pretty good over here. We're going to take a quick break right now. We'll be back after this. It's Wednesday, November 19th. Today, provincial promises what the Premier pledged during Tuesday's throne speech. Plus, simplifying the system, how Winnipeg is making it easier to file permit applications. And staying put, what Mike O'Shea had to say about re-signing with the Bombers. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. It is 7 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. We have a lot in the next hour for you, including at 7:52. This month is Diabetes Awareness Month. And so we're going to speak with a researcher from the University of Manitoba who's going to tell us about type 1 diabetes and some of the work that he's doing, as well as the support system that he's bringing in. It's a program that is brand new and can help a lot of people get through their diagnosis. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that. But the weather itself, it's gorgeous.
We have been so lucky. That was what I was chatting about with my cab driver this morning. He's like, when is it going to get cold? I said, not this week at all. It's going to be beautiful right through the coming weekend with these well above seasonal temperatures continuing. It's dark out there, but starting to see just a little more of that glow. The sun will be up at about 7:47 this morning, so still a little ways to go. 2 degrees is where we're sitting right now, though, and it's not even 8 a.m., so you got it's just barely 7 a.m. Anyway, that's mild is what I'm trying to say. South-southwest winds, 10 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 81%. These mild temperatures, yes, they're going to last all week long. He was more specifically wondering about the snow and when we're going to be seeing that. Well, certainly not this week with plus digits on tap. There was, in fact, some rain that moved through last night. That has pushed off to the east of us right now. You can see all of that activity through northwestern Ontario. Ontario. Off to the west of us, that's where what will eventually be moving up into parts of northern Manitoba is lingering, and that's going to be probably showing up in flurry form, but not till later on into the afternoon. There you can see what I'm talking about on the Futurecast right now, and that will arc up, hitting the northwest later this afternoon and then continuing off into the northeastern part of the province once you're looking more into the evening overnight. We will see heavier clouds hanging around through the day and showers or some mixed precipitation off to the east of us through northwestern Ontario. Overnight, that's still going to continue across much of northern Manitoba, but here in the south, it begins to clear out. That sets us up for all of the sunshine tomorrow and for the rest of the week, in fact. Very sunny conditions, very mild, above seasonal temperatures as far as we can see, and not just above seasonal, above the freezing mark. -3 would be a normal daytime high. We're headed up to 5 today, and then as it clears out, staying in these plus digits through the weekend into next week, not starting to cool down till Tuesday. And our art today is thanks to 10-year-old Ray, and we always love showcasing what it is that you're working on. So draw, color, or paint and send that picture to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
The NDP government made major promises in its throne speech Tuesday, and it includes a machete ban, no more sick notes, and another attempt to create a supervised consumption site. CTV's Jeff Keel reports.
In this year's throne speech, the Premier is trying again to establish a supervised drug consumption site.
This facility is ready to go.
The last one planned for Disraeli Freeway in Point Douglas was scrapped after public backlash to the location. Now, the province says one will be up and running in January, somewhere west of Main Street.
We've listened, and we want to ensure that people are getting the supports that they need in and around where people are using.
The Premier says there is a bit more consultation to do on the new location, but critics accuse him of ramming this new plan through.
We have been speaking out against a supervised consumption site, so when the Premier doesn't get his way, he just goes around the rules.
The speech was big on health care promises to eliminate sick notes for absences up to 7 days, offer a digital health card option, a new patient portal for lab results, allow pharmacists to provide birth control, and establish new laws to create a patient charter and mandatory OT starting with nurses and require a set patient staffing ratio. The Premier is confident his government has hired enough new healthcare workers to pull this off, saying it's now up to health authorities and hospitals.
We're going to say, we've given you the staff, now you have to solve this problem.
I think this is really encouraging with that, concern of, okay, well, what are the details of this?
Other highlights include a study to try and find new ways to save money on groceries, new rules to stop unfair rent increases. A Manitoba company will take over the Park Pass contract from a Texas firm, a livestock inspection program for beef operations, a northern airport scanner, and a ban on dangerous weapons like machetes in parks and buses.
Banning of weapons in public spaces is something that I know I and our council will absolutely support.
And there was what was missing from the speech. The Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce says they didn't dislike anything that was in there, but
if action is the currency of government, our economy got a little shortchanged in the throne speech.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Canoe also committed to no new tax hikes in the spring budget. The Premier says it is a very narrow path now to balance the books, so they'll have to walk a fine line. The Washington State Health Department reported Friday that a resident has been hospitalized with bird flu. It's the first reported case of bird flu in a human in the U.S. in 9 months. Officials also say the patient is infected with a strain of the virus that hasn't been seen in humans before. It's unknown how the older patient caught the virus. Health leaders are contacting people who may have been in close contact with the man to check for symptoms. Don't be alarmed if you get an alarm on your phone today. You should hear that sound at 1:55 in the afternoon. It's because the province is testing its Alert Ready system. Officials say the alert will be sent to televisions, radios, and compatible wireless devices. However, it warns not every cell phone will get the alert due to compatibility issues or cell tower coverage. The Manitoba government says the test is needed to ensure it will work efficiently during an actual emergency. The City of Winnipeg says it's making it easier to file development permits. Beginning Tuesday, you can visit a new online permitting portal for applications such as subdivision, rezoning, variance, and conditional use. You're also able to view the status of permits, submit documents, and make payments. Some applications still need to be submitted by email, such as parking management plans, design reviews, and alignments, but the city says those will be available online by the end of the year. Newly re-signed Bombers head coach Mike O'Shea addressed the media for the first time Tuesday since the club announced he's back for another 3 seasons.
There's obviously a whole pile of reasons, but we built something pretty damn special here, you know, so you'd like to continue that. You know, the season didn't work out the way we wanted, but you know, I think there's still a lot of growth to be had.
There was speculation Coach O'Shea may have been looking to go elsewhere, particularly Toronto, after the Argos head coach left for Ottawa. Without elaborating, O'Shea says he was exploring an opportunity during his talks with the Argos, but ultimately he says his family has carved out a home for themselves here in Winnipeg, and he still sees plenty of potential with the blue and gold.
Well, it's a great sporting city. The fans are unbelievable. You know, I've always said this, highly educated. They show up in droves. Obviously, we set an attendance record for our club, and all the sellouts, the support you get around the community is phenomenal.
The coming season will be O'Shea's 12th with Winnipeg. He has a franchise record of 117 wins to 77 losses. O'Shea had led the Bombers to 5 straight Grey Cup appearances between 2019 and 2024 and 2 titles in 2019 and 2021. You may have no plans to own a donkey, but it's good to know there is a great resource available.
Great introduction video to learning about donkey housing, how to set up your farm, vet care they require.
The Donkey Sanctuary of Canada has released a new online virtual tool about proper donkey ownership. Its first video is about care essentials. The second one is coming next month. It'll be about nutrition. More videos are planned next year. Here's a look at what's happening at Kenaston and Sterling Lion Way. It looks like things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive.
Some key earnings coming out today. The one everyone is watching for is NVIDIA. It comes out after the close. Any signs of weakness or numbers not as strong as many analysts and investors expected will likely send the market into a tizzy tomorrow. We will also be hearing from some key consumer companies, including Target, Lowe's, and La-Z-Boy today, Walmart tomorrow. They will be indicators of how Main Street is doing. In Canada, Metro reported today, and the numbers come close to analysts' estimates. And a portrait by the Austrian artist Gustav Klimt was sold for $330 million Canadian in New York on Tuesday, making it the second most expensive piece ever sold at auction. 6 people involved in this auction. It took 20 minutes, that's it. And the portrait is of Elizabeth Lederer. It was painted between 1914 and 1916 and then looted by the Nazis and almost destroyed in a fire in World War II, but was rescued in 1948. Auction house Sotheby's has not disclosed the buyer's identity. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live in Bozer this morning. It's a great place to go to kickstart the holiday season and maybe even do some shopping. Good morning.
I don't know who's counting, Rochelle, but there's 36 days till Christmas, and
so crazy.
I have a pile. I know I have a pile behind the counter here at Pennyweight Market here in Bozer because there's simply so many options. And why not come down to Bozer for their Christmas on Park event? It's 2 weeks long. We've already run through the first week. The second week, though, still can take advantage of some of those local deals. That's the whole idea, right? Bringing tourism here, but also having local options for the holiday season. Everything from giant lollies to hot chocolate, Kool-Aid packs, and more. They're closing down on Friday the whole Park Street, and they've got tons of entertainment and so much more. People have been saying, this is off topic, hear me out. People have been saying to me, oh, you've lost so much weight, but one pound more. 1 pound more. Straight from Reston, Manitoba.
It looks delicious. All right, let's go to the rooftop. It's a gorgeous start to the day, and it doesn't look like there's a breeze at all out there.
Barely. The winds are very light, and they're going to stay that way today. And while it's still pretty dark out here right now, we're only a few minutes away from, well, a few, more than a few. 7:47 is official sunrise this morning, but I'm already starting to see A little brightness off to the east right now, where I can see the few clouds that are out here right now. It's actually on the clearer side momentarily, but that will likely only be momentarily, as the heavier clouds are going to squeeze back in again over us. Pretty overcast conditions will then be expected through the day. It's 0 right now. That temperature has dropped off as these clouds cleared out for a brief moment. And the winds are right now are just 12 clicks out of the south. The pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 88%. So while it does look at this time like we could be seeing some sunshine today, I think the timing of it, by the time the sun actually begins to rise, these clouds will begin stacking up, and then they will be continuously stacking up through the day. There will also likely be some precipitation. We saw it rolling through last night, so now that system is off to the east throughout northwestern Ontario, where some mixed precipitation will fall. For northern Manitoba, it's in Saskatchewan right now, but flurries will be passing up across much of the north, and you'll deal with that through the afternoon. Here in the south, just the clouds clearing overnight and back to the sunshine for tomorrow.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Thanks, Terry. Time now for our question of the day. In the news today, some new flights from Winnipeg to destinations on the other side of the Atlantic. So our question of the day is, where would you want direct flights from Manitoba to be added next? You can text your answer along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing. We want to see more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this.
Give a child a winter coat. You give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
People living in Morden will be placed under a precautionary boil water advisory next week. The city says the move is necessary because of work being done on a new pipe at the Morden Water Treatment Plant. Starting Monday at 8 in the morning, people are asked to boil any water that will be used for drinking, preparing food, or brushing teeth. You're asked to bring the water to a rolling boil for at least a minute. It should look like what you're seeing on your screen right now. The city says the advisory will remain in effect for up to several weeks. During this time, officials are asking residents to conserve water as much as possible. The chief financial officer for Canada Post says the company is effectively insolvent after it posted sharp losses of more than $1 billion in the first 9 months of this year alone. The Crown Corporation says it expects to lose up to 30,000 employees to retirement or voluntary departures over the next decade. It says declines in letter mail and labor disputes have put a strain on business. After months of delays and pushback, the Jeffrey Epstein case files could soon be fully exposed.
We were victimized as children and failed repeatedly by the very system that was supposed to protect us.
Survivors gathered at the Capitol to speak out as both the U.S. House and Senate approved a bill to force the Justice Department to publicly release the files on the late convicted sex offender. It comes after months of opposition from U.S. President Donald Trump and Republican leadership. Trump now claims he will sign the bill. The bill forces the release within 30 days of all files and communications related to Epstein, as well as any information about the investigation into his death in federal prison. The Winnipeg Jets received a warm welcome at home Tuesday night after playing a 6-game stretch on the road.
Picked up and turned a lot of truck. Chased down by Lowry, back to the line. Pionk is locked and loaded. He gives it to the corner. Niederreiter. Lowry scores!
Winnipeg Jets captain Adam Lowry and Neil Pionk both scored their first goal of the season in Tuesday's match against the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was also Mark Scheifele's 898th game, the most played in franchise history. The final score Tuesday night was Jets 5, Jackets 2. Fans returned to Canada Life Centre Friday night for a matchup against the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock. And here's what's happening now in traffic on Portage Avenue. Things are still quite light at this point in the drive. If you see any problems out on the streets, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Now in entertainment news, you'll have more chances to laugh at a very popular outdoor comedy festival in Winnipeg. The Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, a 3-day event in Assiniboine Park, has added afternoon shows to its weekend dates. This includes American comedian Jeff Archery and Emma Willman, who will take the stage on July 18th. The following afternoon will include Adam Ray's Dr. Phil Live and performances from Big J Okerson and Donnell Rollins. Afternoon show tickets go on sale this Friday. The curtain is almost ready to rise on Manitoba Opera's 53rd season. Its opening performance is one of the greatest operas ever written, Tosca. This is footage from 2010, the last time this production was performed by Manitoba Opera. Tosca is a political thriller with a story featuring lovers, jealousy, and betrayal. You'll have 3 chances to see Tosca on Saturday, November 22nd, Wednesday, November 26th, and on Friday, the 28th. For tickets and information, go to mbopera.ca. 2 powerhouse bands are hitting the highway together, and they're coming to Winnipeg.
And this old car has turned from red into rust.
The award-winning group Doc Walker from Westburn, Manitoba, and the Roadhammers have announced a cross-Canada tour next year. The Till the Wheels Fall Off tour begins this January before reaching the Club Regent Event Center on Valentine's Day. The Juno award-winning bands are set to deliver a night filled with old-fashioned country rock energy. Ticket information is available on both bands' websites. Test your knowledge with The Floor at 7. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is at 8, and Hit the Road with The Amazing Race at 8:30. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Terry, driving into work today, the streets were wet in some parts of the city.
I noticed that myself when I stepped outside today. I was expecting there would be some rain passing through last night, but it was brief and gone. I mean, there was no actual rain falling when you came in, I'm sure. But now that's off to the east in parts of northwestern Ontario and left behind just some clouds. But even those are beginning to clear right now as we look through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. It's looking pretty out there this morning. And those clouds that have thinned somewhat or begun to clear will just move back in again. It's a brief moment that we'll get to enjoy a little bit of blue sky and sunshine, although technically that sun isn't even up and won't begin to rise until 7:47 this morning. Temperature-wise, though, we're well above seasonal, sitting at the freezing mark right now in Winnipeg, seeing fairly similar temperatures along this eastern border, 0, 1, 2 degrees off to the east, slightly cooler off to the west, just a few degrees below freezing. But just for a reference point, -12, that would be a normal low, and we are all well above that today. In fact, most of us are already above seasonal daytime highs, never mind the low temperatures that you would expect this time of year. And right up into northern Manitoba, mild temperatures are expected. There will be some extra clouds hanging around and eventually some flurries. For northern Manitoba, you're not seeing them yet, but they're hanging around in parts of Saskatchewan, and all of that will be arcing across northern Manitoba later on into the day. Off to the east of us, that's the rain that moved through Winnipeg last night, the reason that our streets are wet that we're waking up to this morning, but it will continue further to the east throughout northwestern Ontario. As far as what we can expect throughout the day today, mainly cloudy conditions. They will continue to stack up again, even though we're having a clearer moment now. It may have clouded over by the time kids are settling into the classroom. 2 degrees by 9 a.m., 4 degrees by lunchtime, and a much balmier 5 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school today. Yes, today will be on the cloudier side, but those clouds will clear overnight, and plenty of sunshine then expected through the rest of the week and the weekend, and things are still looking good into the start of next week. Ice is beginning to form out in the Ingolf area. This is near West Hawk Lake. Thanks to Mike for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Thank you, Terry. A popular children's character is returning to Winnipeg, and we want you to beat the box office to be like Blippy. Move, play, explore, and dress just like Blippy, Mika, and their friends when the Be Like Blippy tour stops at the Burton Cummings Theatre for 2 shows on Saturday, May 16th. And Your Morning Winnipeg has a family pass of 4 tickets to the afternoon show to give away before tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Good luck. 2-tier healthcare is coming to Alberta, according to new reporting from the Globe and Mail. Draft legislation obtained by that publication says the province plans to soon allow its physicians to work in both the private and the public sector, a first-of-its-kind parallel model in Canada. The legislation isn't near ready, but as Tim Brooke explains, it's already sparking heated debate. More now from CTV's Tim Brooke.
Alberta will soon allow its physicians working in the public healthcare system to also offer services in the private markets. Right now, it's one or the other. Reporting from the Globe and Mail says the new system will soon be part of the Alberta Healthcare Insurance Act.
I can't speak to specifics of legislation before it gets into the House, but I am always looking for opportunities to make sure that Albertans have increased access to the supports and the resources that they need.
This professor of healthcare policy says it is clearly two-tiered medicine.
It's a major concern for publicly funded healthcare. This will cause wait lists to go up in the public system. The only people that will benefit are those who are fortunate enough to have the money to pay.
Critics worry doctors will make more money working fewer hours in the private system, eventually incentivizing them away from the public one.
Doctors will keep up their wait lists in the public system longer so that people are willing to move over to the private system.
Imagine you are at Canadian Tire getting ready for your winter tires and there is a huge lineup for the cashier. And the manager says, no problem, I'll open a second lane. So they open a second lane, creating two lineups, and there's only one cashier covering both lineups. So will the Premier commit today to dissolve this legislature and cause an election on this issue?
Well, Mr. Speaker, no. But let me tell you what we will do. We are going to continue to create the very best environment for doctors and specialists to work here.
There are proponents of this system. Some believe the model can streamline care and help certain patients receive treatment in a timely manner, something that doesn't happen enough in Canada. But the idea has been floated and flopped before. Ralph Klein tried the third way approach in 2006 before dropping it after intense public pushback.
Coming up, we're live with Ainsley and Bozer for Christmas on Park. We'll have more details coming up. Christmas on Park is happening in Bozer right now, and Ainsley, you're giving us a sneak peek on what people can expect. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. The only thing worse than a kid in a candy store is a Kenny in a candy store.
Of course.
The amount of times I've had to just, because there's so much candy in here, it's unbelievable. But it's the perfect place to get your holiday shopping started. Jess Timmerman joins us now, owner of Pennyweight Market. Please tell us about your store, because we've been showing people so far, but that doesn't even put a dent in it.
So we are your modern day local bulk food store. So we do everything from coffee to ice cream to local products, gifts, corporate gifts, personal gifts, all that. We try and bring in the modern as well as the nostalgic for you. So we've got everything from midnight or candy pillows to Kool-Aid packets, and then those local things like Utopia and our local coffees. We year-round also try and do local farmers as much as we can, direct to store. And yeah, like I said, we do our own ice cream cakes in-house, custom all year round, ice cream flavors. Our most popular thing, even January, -45, is called our Penny Cap. So it's our cold brew black pearl blend ice cream or coffee with our vanilla ice cream, real ice cream, of course. And we blend it into a milkshake for you, which that's all you need. So
I think that just turned my brain into a twister. I went, oh, that sounds delicious. So if I'm veering off into space, that's definitely why. Okay, when it comes to Christmas on Park, you're heavily involved. You're one of the organizers, but also one of the businesses that can take advantage of bringing so many people in to celebrate the holidays.
Correct, yeah. So I joined the Christmas on Park committee. I have a couple little kids, and I love it. It's, bringing families together to support local, to see the events, to do things as families. We, like you've mentioned, we shut down Park, and we just have a party. We hang out. We spend that holiday quality time together as a family, where a lot of people forget nowadays with all the hustle and bustle. And yeah, we just enjoy the evening.
Well, our station might be able to enjoy the morning with some extra treats, but if there's none left, or there's a little hole in it, I'm sitting next to a mouse.
A mouse named Kenny. All right. Thank you, Ainsley. Those treats would be nice this morning, indeed.
Treats are nice every morning, I'm not going to lie. But yes, especially once we get around the holidays, and then you just kind of start to, well, treat yourself, right? All right, 0 degrees, that's what we're waking up to this morning. Our treats this morning are coming from Mother Nature with these mild temperatures. And just a few clouds hanging around right now, although that will likely change. We'll see more and more clouds stacking up through the day, becoming quite overcast as the day goes on. South winds on the lighter side, just 12 kilometers per hour, with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 88%. Rain passed through last night. That precipitation now moving off to the east of us, showing up in mixed form throughout parts of northwestern Ontario. There will be more moving across northern Manitoba. It's right now further west in Saskatchewan, but later on today, northern Manitoba can expect another round of flurries as well. Here in the southeast, or much of southern Manitoba, really, we'll see these clouds building up again, even though they've cleared out somewhat for now. Heavier clouds and mild temperatures. 5 degrees is where we're headed today. So far this morning, we've only watched the temperature fall, but it'll likely start to turn around now once that sun rises later this hour. The wind staying on the lighter side out of the west at about 15 kilometers per hour. Temperatures overnight only falling to -1. -3 is a normal daytime high. -12. That would be a normal low temperature. We are not going to be anywhere near that, not throughout this week, in fact. And once those clouds begin to clear overnight, plenty of sunshine on tap for tomorrow. 3 degrees, another beautiful day, even better perhaps, especially with the return to the sunshine and that sunshine sticking around. It's going to last throughout the rest of the week, the weekend, and into next week too. But Tuesday, things begin to change as the temperatures fall and a little bit of extra precipitation will be moving in.
A man is dead after being shot by an RCMP officer Tuesday. RCMP say officers arrived at a home in Sagging First Nation around 6:30 Tuesday morning. The service says that's where officers found a man holding a knife. He was shot after what RCMP described as an encounter. The 29-year-old was taken to hospital but later died. RCMP say the officers involved were wearing body cameras, and the footage will be turned over to the Independent Investigation Unit of Manitoba. A group representing Manitoba consumers is raising concerns over Manitoba Hydro's request for a nearly 11% rate hike over the coming years.
Overall, the Consumers Coalition believes that these rate increases will be unnecessarily hard for many Manitobans.
Public Interest Law Center is representing the Consumers Coalition at public hearings over the rate application. The hearings began Monday. Hydro is asking for a 3.5% increase in each of the next 3 years. It means the average natural gas customer would be paying an additional $137 a year. For electric heat customers, it's another $362 per year.
Our client's view is that Hydro is essentially asking Manitobans to trust them when it files an application that shows, in our client's view, not enough efforts to reduce costs internally and relies heavily on placeholder budgets for significant capital projects in the future.
In its lengthy petition to the Public Utilities Board, Hydro says the increases are necessary due to drought and low water levels, aging infrastructure, and to maintain the debt ratio. In an email statement, a Hydro spokesperson says the utility strongly believes its proposal enables Hydro to meet its mandate to provide safe, reliable, and affordable energy while meeting the future needs of Manitobans. The spokesperson adds anyone struggling to pay their bills can request payment arrangements. The Ontario government is now exploring the idea of making impaired drivers pay child support if they kill the child's parent or guardian.
Talk to the justice partners, talk to the federal government, talk to other jurisdictions, and we're going to find what's going to work best, and then we will take action on it.
Attorney General Doug Downey says the loss of a parent can have far-reaching consequences for minor independence, and that while family members are able to sue impaired drivers in civil court, that's not enough. The government says it's looking for ways to ease the burden from impaired driving tragedies and provide financial stability for children left behind. The plan now is to examine a similar law in Texas in the hopes of making impaired drivers more accountable. Hoping to attract new investments, Prime Minister Mark Carney is en route to the United Arab Emirates and South Africa. It is Carney's first official visit to both countries since becoming Prime Minister, and senior government officials say the trip is to deepen partnerships and attract capital to Canada. His first stop will be Abu Dhabi for meetings with government and business officials, and then on Friday, Carney will head to Johannesburg for the G20 Leaders Summit. Carney will hold a series of bilateral meetings while there. While his office isn't saying yet which world leaders he may sit down with, we know U.S. President Donald Trump won't be one of them, as the Americans are boycotting the G20. Officials in Ukraine say at least 20 people have been killed by a Russian attack in the western city of Chernobyl. The drone and missile strike hit 2 blocks of apartments. 66 people were hurt in addition to the 20 people killed. This was one of the deadliest strikes in western Ukraine since the war started. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Turkey this morning. He's urging allies to keep pressure on Russia to return to the table for ceasefire talks. It will soon be a lot faster and easier to visit Europe. WestJet is expanding its global connections from our city with new direct flights. Starting this June, the airline will provide a weekly flight from Winnipeg to Reykjavik, Iceland. In addition, WestJet is also creating 2 new domestic routes for our city. A 3 times weekly service between Winnipeg and London, Ontario, and a weekly year-round flight from Winnipeg to Cancun. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane is closed on Dugald Road from Plessis to Guy Savoie. The northbound curb lane is also closed on Keewatin between Manitoba and Pritchard. And following the rush, expect lane closures on Pembina at Bison Drive for communications work. If you have any other traffic tips, text them to us, please, at 10400. And here's a look at your gas prices. The lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.18. This information is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Right now we're sitting at 0 degrees with the wind chill feels like -4. We'll be back after this with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Zero degrees is where we're sitting right now. Just a few clouds hanging over the city. Winds out of the south on the lighter side, just 12 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 88%. Best chance of seeing that sunshine will be in a few minutes' time when it just begins to rise. 7:47 is official sunrise time, and you can see we're just enjoying a clear moment now after rain passed through overnight. That's further off to the east. And there's some snow that's going to be moving up into parts of northern Manitoba throughout the day today. That'll be beginning later on this morning, continuing through the afternoon. But your temperatures right up into northern Manitoba will be well above seasonal. So, for example, -11 would be a normal daytime high. In the Churchill area, you are instead headed to -6, so about 5 degrees above what you would expect this time of year. -10, a normal high in the Thompson area. You can expect to see some of that precipitation later today, but a much balmier high of -3 than what is normal for this time of year. Again, the precipitation moving up into the northwest. That'll be for later on into the late morning through midday, continuing through the afternoon. Your temperatures, though, for -7 that is normal, you're again expected to be about 5 degrees or more above what you would expect for this time of year. -3, a normal daytime high all across southern Manitoba. And instead, plus digits are on tap today. We won't be seeing as much sunshine, maybe a few breaks first thing this morning, but these clouds, they will be building up throughout the day today. And then mainly cloudy conditions are expected for us, but light winds. There will be a couple of places just off to the east who may still see a little bit of that lingering precipitation, and most of northwestern Ontario, things will be looking a little bit soggier for you. Plus digit temperatures, but perhaps some showers expected through the day. After it clears overnight, we've got sunshine to enjoy all throughout the rest of this week, with these plus digit temperatures lasting into the start of next week on Monday. Things begin to cool down Tuesday with the chance of some flurries or showers.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Christmas on Park in Beau Séjour. It's really an event that brings the whole community together. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. Old and young, it doesn't matter how old you are. You can enjoy a candy cane. You can support a local business. It's Mayor joins us now, Ray Sherrill. Thank you for being on our show this morning. How much excitement is surrounding Christmas on Park?
You know, it's absolutely amazing, our community here, between all the volunteers, all the community groups, businesses all pulling together. I mean, there's over 50 businesses, community groups, all just coming out to have a wonderful time celebrating Christmas with all of our local people, our residents. It's just absolutely amazing.
And are you hoping it brings folks from other cities into town?
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things. It's also helping how drive business into our community and showcasing all the wonderful businesses we do have. I know last year when we had it, there was people from all over outside. We had people driving out to visit families because they're making it actually a family event and actually showcasing everything, seeing the community, seeing Santa Claus, dropping off the letters for Santa. It's absolutely wonderful.
And you mentioned community groups as well. It really does go beyond business. So there's churches involved, gyms, and so much more, even live performances on the Friday.
Yeah, right from our dance studio right to the breach. We have the hamper fund group that's always gathering stuff for their hampers, Christmas hampers that we put out every year. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing for all the groups to showcase what they do all year, fundraising for them. It's a great opportunity.
And I mean, in my line of work, I'm always hammering this home: support locals, support local. But why is it so important, especially to Bozer?
Again, we have a wonderful community with a lot of home-based businesses, and you know, these times of the year is what they really strive on to help them get through the year financially. So on the economic development side of things is very, very important, because a lot of people don't know what we actually have in our community. So this gets the families out and gets people to showcase and see what's actually available right at home to shop at home, and then you don't have to run to the big city life. So it's wonderful.
When it comes to the holiday season, even where we're at right now, ice cream all year round. Do you have a favorite flavor, or?
My problem is I like all the flavors, so it's amazing. Yeah, there's so many snacks and everything wonderful you can have here every day. My doctor says to keep away from here.
I'm saying the same thing. They must have 40 flavors here, Rochelle. I don't know what we're gonna do. At least it's breakfast. We'll have to leave immediately.
A driver was airlifted to hospital with serious injuries following a two-vehicle crash in the Whiteshell area. RCMP were called just before 6 p.m. Monday to Highway 1 at Falcon Creek Road, just west of Falcon Lake. One driver, a 68-year-old man, was transported to hospital by Stars Air Ambulance. A 40-year-old woman who was driving the other vehicle sustained minor injuries. The crash shut down the eastbound lanes of the Trans-Canada Highway for several hours Monday evening into the early morning hours of Tuesday morning. The crash is under investigation. The City of Winnipeg says it's making it easier to file development permits. Beginning Tuesday, you can visit a new online permitting portal for applications such as subdivision, rezoning, variance, and conditional use. You're also able to view the status of permits, submit documents, and make payments. Some applications still need to be submitted by email, such as parking management plans, design reviews, and alignments, but the city says those will be available online by the end of the year. People living in Morden will be placed under a precautionary boil water advisory next week. The city says the move is necessary because of work being done on a new pipe at the Morden water treatment plant. Starting Monday at 8 in the morning, people are asked to boil any water that will be used for drinking, preparing food, or brushing teeth. You're asked to bring the water to a rolling boil for at least a minute. It should look like what's on your screen. The city says the advisory will remain in effect for up to several weeks. During this time, officials are asking residents to conserve water as much as possible. John Main has been chosen as the next premier of Nunavut. Main is a third-term MLA who previously served as health minister. He was chosen to be premier by Nunavut's Legislative Assembly, which has no political parties. Main will be Nunavut's first non-Inuk leader. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 8th birthday, Layla, from your family and friends. Happy birthday, Alanis, from your family. Happy 5th birthday, Jack, from your family and friends. Happy 13th birthday, Hunter. Love Mom, Dad, Scarlett, and Stella. Happy 65th birthday, Anne. Love Ron, Laura, and Andrew. Happy 83rd birthday, Alex, from Marilyn and all your family. Happy 85th birthday to Gladys from all your family. And a very happy 100th birthday to Anne with love and best wishes from all your family and friends. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
All right, it's beautiful out here right now, and it's going to be another mild day, headed to a high of 5 degrees when -3 is normal for this time of year. Now, last year was a very similar day temperature-wise anyway. We got up to 5.5 degrees, but all the way back in 1917, that was the record of 14.4. Now, it's going to be pleasant. It's going... pardon me, is going to be mild. We have momentarily cleared, but it is only momentarily. We're going to see these clouds building up throughout the day today, and then the heavier clouds will be sticking around. But if you want to enjoy a little bit of sunshine, it's up now, and it's looking good, at least for this time. 0 degrees is feeling good as well with those winds just 12 clicks out of the south. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 88%. So we will see those clouds stacking up, as I mentioned. There was some rain last night. That is pushed off to the east, northwestern Ontario. You can still see some mixed precipitation, maybe in these morning temperatures, some flurries, but changing to showers if it's not already in liquid form, because even northern Manitoba or northwestern Manitoba, no, let me get that straight. Northwestern Ontario will experience these very mild temperatures. Now, northern Manitoba will also experience mild temperatures, but probably still a few degrees below the freezing mark, and the precipitation that's going to be moving through for you will most likely be in flurry form. It's going to clear out for us overnight, even with the clouds building through the day. Once it clears overnight, we're back to sunny conditions, which we'll enjoy through the rest of the week, and today headed to a balmy high of 5 degrees this afternoon.
Staring. Diabetes is a chronic illness caused when the body cannot produce enough insulin on its own. It leads to high blood glucose levels that need to be controlled by daily insulin therapy. Type 1 diabetes is not preventable and affects a person's life 24 hours a day. A local researcher who lives with type 1 diabetes himself is studying the disease and launching a program to support people living with it. Joining us now is Dylan McKay, a researcher and assistant professor at the U of M's Department of Food and Human Nutritional Sciences. Good morning, Dylan.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you were 13 years old when you first discovered that you were type 1 diabetes, that you had type 1 diabetes. You sort of self-diagnosed yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, I was in junior high school, and I was losing a bit of weight, but I was growing at the same time, and I was thirsty all the time, and I was hungry all the time. So I was eating constantly, and I was drinking constantly, and I mean like liters of water.
Okay.
And I'd just gotten home from school one day, and I drank like probably 2 liters of water, refilled the container again, sat down, opened up a newspaper, and I saw a little ad that said, "Are you thirsty all the time?" It was a Diabetes Canada ad, and that sort of clicked to my mind. Oh my goodness, this is not a normal amount of drinking. And so, yeah, I went to the doctor the next day, and I was diagnosed.
And how it was back then and how to treat it back then is so different compared to today. We've come a long way, haven't we?
Yeah, so it's been incredible change. You know, the big evolution in technology that's been recent sort of is these continuous glucose monitors, and you see more and more people with type 1 and type 2 diabetes that wear them. These are little sensors that transfer blood glucose information directly to your cell phone or to a device that can let you know when your blood sugar is going high or low, without having to sort of prick your finger and measure it with a stick, which is what we used to. When I was first diagnosed, that's what we did.
Okay, and there is a big difference between type 1 and type 2. What are they exactly?
So the main difference is type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, so for some reason, often maybe after a viral infection or for some kind of thing that happens to a person, their body attacks their own pancreas, their own beta cells, and destroys their ability to make insulin. Whereas type 2 diabetes, for many different reasons, the insulin isn't working as well, and so they both end up with a condition where the blood glucose is high, but one of them is sort of with insulin, and one of them is where the insulin is there, but it's not working. With insulin, it's not working as well, and the other one is without insulin.
You have a tattoo about diabetes.
I do, yeah. It's a picture of one of the diabetes dogs that was used in the research to discover insulin, so at the University of Toronto. And so it's Diabetes Month right now, and just last week was the birthday of Frederick Banting, one of the discoverers of insulin. And during their research, which was groundbreaking and why I'm alive and many other people with type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes are alive, they had to use animals to do their research. And some of the dogs, they have photos of it. So I have a photo of the dog as a tattoo, a tattoo of the dog, and some of the lab notes from their lab books tattooed on a sleeve.
So research in this is right up your alley. Tell us a little bit about some of the work you're doing.
Sure, yeah. So Myself, actually, this is part of a big team. Lots of people who live with type 1 diabetes and who are also researchers. We're working on creating a peer-led online program for people with type 1 diabetes. It's led by Dr. Holly Whitman at the Université de Laval in Quebec City. Okay. And sort of it's an idea that, while there are about 300,000 people in Canada who have type 1 diabetes, you may not know somebody else when you're first diagnosed, or you may not meet somebody else who has type 1 diabetes. I didn't meet someone, I grew up in Newfoundland, I didn't meet someone until my second year of university who had type 1 diabetes. But because we do so much of the care for ourselves with type 1 diabetes, people who have experience of that and like having a community of people who have a shared experience is been shown to be quite beneficial. So we're trying to create groups and facilitate meeting and creating community for people with type 1 diabetes because we think it can improve their lives.
Okay, so, we're almost out of time. Yeah. Where can people find this link?
The website is community1d.ca. So it's CUMMUNIT
just the
1D.
T. Okay.
And you can search it Community 1D.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course.
Hello, everyone. Glenn Sheeler inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we're going to the pitch. It's World Cup qualifying. Scotland, Denmark, 3 minutes in. Loose ball finds Scott McTominay, and he delivers on a brilliant bicycle kick. How about that? His second goal of the qualifying round. Scotland would go on to win a thriller, punching their ticket to the World Cup for the first time in 28 years. McTominay earns the must-see moment. Tonight on TSN, we got Tangerine Raptors basketball. They're taking on the 76ers. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock Eastern across the TSN network. That's all for now, everyone. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
It's Wednesday, November 19th. Throne's speech promises the province unveils new drug site plan and a slate of healthcare changes. Plus, Carberry overpass approved. Province commits to safety upgrades after deadly 2023 crash at key intersection. And Jets strike back. Winnipeg bounces back strong with a lively 5-2 win on home ice. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Coming up a little later in the hour at 8:15, we're going to tell you about a brand new book. It's called The Seaweed Band, and it's all about the era, rock and roll era, country music era on Main Street in the 80s. It was a really happening place, and the Seaweed Band was a big part of that scene. So we're going to find out a little bit more on what was going on back then, as well as find out what life has been like since the Seaweed Band has, they have hits, and they've actually been, loved and adored by fans around the world. So we're going to find out what's going on and tell you a little bit more about that book as well with Errol Ranville.
Very cool. Okay.
But the weather is pretty good.
Oh my goodness, it's been incredible.
It's amazing.
This is late November, and honestly, it feels like it could be late September or October. Maybe closer to October, but still, it's not feeling like late November at these temperatures well above seasonal. 0 degrees is where we're sitting right now, and starting to see a bit of that sunshine. It has started to rise, but it won't be lasting long. We'll see the clouds building up throughout the day today. South winds on the lighter side, just 12 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 88%. Those clouds moved out momentarily, but it may only be a moment. The rain that moved through last night, yes, there was some precipitation last night in liquid form, so you might notice some wet streets. The bulk of that moving off to the east of us now, and there's still a lot lingering, but it's south of that international line. Now, moving into northern Manitoba will come the flurries that are right now in Saskatchewan, but later on today arcing across northern Manitoba. Here's a look at the future cast, and you'll see what I'm talking about. While we're in the clearer moment, it is only a moment. These clouds will kind of squeeze in over us as they move back in again, and moving across northern Manitoba will be this system bringing flurries starting in the northwest, moving into the northeast for later on today. Now, or later on into the evening time, I should say. For us, it'll stay on the cloudier side throughout the day today, on the soggier side further to the east of us, but But then tonight, these clouds clearing out, and that'll set us up for the sunshine tomorrow. And in fact, it's not just tomorrow. The rest of the week is looking quite clear for southern Manitoba. Central and northern Manitoba may still deal with some heavier clouds, a bit of lingering precipitation. We'll just have some passing clouds here or there, but overall plenty of sunshine and really nice temperatures expected. -3 is normal for this time of year. We've got plus digits right through the weekend. And thank you to 10-year-old Ray for our picture today. And we love showcasing your art, so draw, color, or paint for us and send that picture to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Thank you, Terry. Manitoba's throne speech has been delivered, and it includes a promise to create a supervised drug consumption site.
This facility is ready to go.
The last one planned for Winnipeg was scrapped after public backlash to the location. Now the province says one will be up and running in January somewhere west of Main Street. Critics, however, are still accusing Premier Wab Kinew of ramming a new plan through. Tuesday's speech was healthcare forward and also includes promises to eliminate sick notes for absences up to 7 days, to offer a new digital health card option, a new patient portal for lab results, and to allow pharmacists to provide birth control and UTI prescriptions. Kinew also promised no new tax hikes in the spring budget, saying the path to balance is very narrow and they'll have to walk a fine line. A wave of relief in Carberry. An overpass will be built at the intersection where a tragic crash killed 17 people. The Premier confirmed the project in Tuesday's throne speech.
Every time I go out and cross that road or at any time, I think of that bus.
Carberry's Robert Goodridge spent 35 years in a maintenance job in town. He says he once nearly collided at the same intersection while operating a snowplow and hopes an overpass will prevent future crashes. On June 15th, 2023, a semi and a seniors bus collided there, killing 17 people and injuring 8. The tragedy prompted calls for safety changes at the junction of the Trans-Canada and Highway 5. Those calls were answered Tuesday as the province announced plans for an overpass.
This intersection is different now than any other intersection in Manitoba because of the loss of life and how sad it was to see those seniors passing away. It means that we have that extra responsibility to listen to community voices on this.
The Premier says the project could cost more than $100 million. Carberry's mayor says that's justified as the community is still mourning the loss. The Premier says Carberry and Dauphin will be consulted on the design. No timeline has been announced. The Winnipeg Jets received a warm welcome at home Tuesday night after playing a 6-game stretch on the road.
Picked up and learned a lot of truck. Chased down by Lowry, back to the line. Pionk is locked and loaded. He engages it to the corner. Niederreiter. Lowry!
Winnipeg Jets captain Adam Lowry and Neil Pionk both scored their first goal of the season in Tuesday's match against the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was also Mark Scheifele's 898th game, the most played in franchise history. The final score Tuesday night was Jets 5, Jackets 2. Fans returned to Canada Life Centre Friday night for a matchup against the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drop is at 7. Winnipeg's snowplows will soon have a little more personality. Kids in Winnipeg will want to put their thinking toques on. Mayor Scott Gillingham says they'll be asked to name the city's snowplows in a new contest. More details are expected in the coming weeks. No need for a snowplow over here just yet. Overall, on St. Mary's Road, things appear to be moving quite well. If you see any problems out there, though, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
All right, let's go back to Ainsley McPhail now, who's talking about Christmas on Park in Bozer. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. And for this segment, it really smells like Christmas. The floral merchants, Kim, joins us now to tell us all about how you guys are participating in the event. So what can people expect? Because I feel like there's a lot when it comes to this business.
There's a lot coming around here. So we actually do all the flowers for Christmas. We do silks and lives, of course, our poinsettias, which are adorable. We will be having Mrs. Claus here. She's really cute. She does a really great job with the kids and stuff. We've got Christmas crackers that people will be able to get when they come in and buy something, and they get a little treat inside of there, and then of course like a discount and things like that. We've got, there's so many things in here. We've got our one-of-a-kind finds. We've got vintage items in here that we've found all throughout Manitoba, and we just love giving people kind of beautiful little treasures. So it's like a unique gift that they can't find anywhere else.
I feel like I'm killing two birds with one stone this morning because I already bought things at the last local business, and here I am going, oh, I get. But I'm a candle person, and I love the ones that you have in-house. These are curated by you guys.
They're curated by us, and this is actually Soy Harvest, which is one of our local businesses in town, and she does a special line just for us. We create the design and the logos and things like that, and the funny little sayings on them, and we kind of like our little bit of sassy humor, so that's kind of where that humor is coming from. You're kind of seeing into our minds when you read those. So.
Getting into the decorative part of things, lots of options here. You guys have done it wonderfully. What would you suggest for maybe taking something home?
Oh, definitely the poinsettias. They're gorgeous this year, and they're actually locally grown, so we try to stay as local as we possibly can. Of course, our flowers are absolutely stunning, and we custom make all of our flower arrangements for folks. And then we also do a commercial decorating and things like that. So if you get by the Breezy Oaks, which is one of our local restaurants, you'll see our decorating that we did up there. I was on a ladder this year for a 12-foot tree. It was pretty precarious, but it looks amazing, so, you know, sacrifice, right?
No kidding. Okay. You know what? This is so much fun. Christmas on Park. I'm going to have to move to Bozer. That's it.
You just might. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. After months of delays and pushback from the White House, lawmakers in the House voted almost unanimously on Tuesday to compel the Department of Justice to release all its files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, as survivors gathered at the Capitol to speak out. With more, CTV's Joy Malbin in Washington.
I was a child. I was in 9th grade. I was hopeful for life.
They were all hopeful once, holding up photos of themselves as young girls.
That's how old we were when we were abused by Epstein and Maxwell.
Fighting for decades to be heard and believed. Together, their voices have become powerful.
We were victimized as children and failed repeatedly by the very system that was supposed to protect us.
The president's relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has haunted Donald Trump. Trump's name mentioned in hundreds of Epstein's personal emails. There's no suggestion of wrongdoing, but after months of resistance, a dramatic about-face from this president. No longer opposed, the House vote went ahead.
On this vote, the yeas are 427, the nays are 1.
In a rare show of bipartisan unity, almost every Republican voted to release the Justice Department records, investigations that could expose the rich and powerful who abused hundreds of young girls.
There's becoming a reckoning in Britain that needs to happen in the United States. A prince lost his title. We need to see those same kind of consequences here.
It's a remarkable political moment for a president facing pressure and mass defections from his own MAGA supporters.
He called me a traitor for standing with these women. Watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart.
President Trump has the power to release these records, but lashed out when asked why he doesn't do it now.
We just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax.
The Senate swiftly agreed to pass the Epstein bill, sending the measure to the president's desk, who said he would sign it into law, starting a 30-day clock to release the files.
Looking now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower expert for more than 40 years. You can see just a few clouds hanging around outside this morning. The best chance of seeing some sunshine is at this very moment, and that's after the clouds from last night cleared, taking the rain along with them. That rain now pushing further to the east off through northwestern Ontario. Temperature-wise, we're still at the freezing mark, which, even though we've been dropping through the course of the morning, is well above seasonal. Normal lows across southern Manitoba would be about -12, and most of us are either at the freezing mark or just barely above or just barely below. So similar temperatures all throughout the south on either side of the freezing mark. Northern Manitoba just slightly cooler yet, but again, well above what you would expect for this time of year, when normal lows in this area would be about -19 in the Churchill area, or -17, a normal low over in Thompson. And again, you're doing considerably better than that this morning. There will be some heavier clouds hanging around northern Manitoba, and clouds that'll move back in. Right now, it's just cleared out slightly. There was the precipitation that moved through last night, and there's more that's going to be arcing through northern Manitoba throughout the day today. As we watch the day play out, we will see the clouds continuously stacking up over the course of the morning. 1 degree as kids get settled into the classroom. Lunchtime, and by the time they're coming home again, well above seasonal. 4 and then 5 degrees when -3 is a normal daytime high. We're back to clear conditions. In fact, overnight it begins to clear, so a fair bit of sunshine then expected through the rest of the week and the weekend, even into the start of next week. Tuesday, things begin to change with some precipitation on the way as the temperatures start to drop. We're taking a break right now, but stick around. We'll be back in a moment with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. A popular children's character is returning to Winnipeg, and we want you to beat the box office to be like Blippy. Move, play, explore, and dress just like Blippy, Mika, and their friends when the Be Like Blippy tour stops at the Burton Cummings Theatre for 2 shows on Saturday, May 16th. And Your Morning Winnipeg has a family pass of 4 tickets to the afternoon show to give away before tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Good luck. In the 1980s, Winnipeg's Main Street was the place to be to listen to up-and-coming music. Bar after bar on the Winnipeg Strip would include all kinds of bands performing to adoring fans. The Manitoba country rock group, the Seaweed Band, was one of the most iconic and recognized bands, scoring hits and fans not just here, but around the world. The Seaweed Band was made up of 3 Ranville brothers from Eddystone, Manitoba. They included Errol, Wally, and Don. Their story is now being told in a brand new book titled Magic in the Music, The Seaweed Band Story. Joining us now is lead singer, guitarist, and songwriter, Seaweed Band lead singer Errol Ranville. Good morning, Errol.
Well, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Take us back to the 80s. How did this all begin for you and your brothers?
That time went so fast, I can't even remember most of it, but no, it was fun. There was a lot of music. There was a lot of fresh new players, and yeah, so we kind of led that whole pack. I don't know, I think it was songwriting. Like I wrote songs, so it set our act apart from all the bands that were doing cover tunes, and so yeah. A lot of music.
But it was literally bar hopping for entertainers, right?
In those days, yeah, there was a lot of venues that had live entertainment, so lucky for us.
And so many hits, adoring fans. What did it mean to you and your brothers to be able to be a part of something like this?
Well, I think we didn't realize, I don't think that it was that important at the time that our community looked up to people that were breaking through, you know, into the music scene. So it became a little bit more serious as you know, as the songs like Evangeline, Magic in the Music, we got nominated for a Juno Award. All of a sudden, we were, you know, we had to be careful, you know, what we were doing and making sure that we kept a clean act. And,
yeah, but I mean, it wasn't always easy, right? There was many challenges you faced. Tell us a little bit about what your book explores when it comes to some of those, the good times and some of the harder times.
Well, I mean, the good times are, you know, obvious. You know, breaking through and rising up in the music industry. A lot of the road stuff and, you know, the things that went on, a lot of the racism and things like that, you know, people don't see, that we sort of encountered every day and throughout our travels. But I think it made us stronger, made us more determined. We don't see it as necessarily a bad thing. We saw it as a motivating thing. So yeah, we rose above it.
So tell us a little bit about this book. This is your second book, but this is what is the story you're telling in this book?
Well, the first book, Run as One, Errol Ranville story, that was more personal.
Okay.
This book here, Wally and I got together on most of the information. It's the story of the Seaweed Band, not not all the story, but it's basically covering all those years from, we started off in 1964. So I was 11 years old when we did our first public performance out in Laurier, Manitoba. So it starts there, and we take you through the whole right up into 3 years ago now. So yeah, it's a whole story of starting off in the bush, no opportunities, moving to the city, making a record, getting the #1 song in the country, getting on the Juno Awards, so it takes you through the whole story. It's pretty exciting.
What I think is amazing about you is the fact that since you were 11 years old, you said, you've dedicated your whole life to music. You're still performing today.
Entire life. I'm still performing today. As a matter of fact, our press conference, press release for the book is on November 28 at our club, Seaweed's Carberry in St. Boniface, 171 Dumoulin. You got to get that in. Grand Chief Garrison Satie will be hosting the press conference. We got an exciting new singer, Nigel Satie, who's going to be performing that day. So we're going to have some live performance, got some good food. We're going to invite the press, and we're going to officially launch the book.
And people can find the book where exactly?
It's at Chapters Canada.
Everywhere?
Everywhere, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us some of your time today. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on the book, and look forward to having you in our studio to perform for us.
All right.
Thanks, Errol.
Yep.
It is so very pleasant outside this morning with these temperatures well above seasonal, and the conditions looking pretty pleasant first thing, although that will likely change as the clouds continue to move back in again. They cleared out last night following the rain that moved off to the east of us, and we will remain dry today, but it won't stay sunny. Those clouds, like I said, will be coming back again, bringing precipitation for some. It's 0 degrees right now. These temperatures are very pleasant. Winds are also quite light. They're 14 clicks right now out of the south with the pressure falling and the humidity at 94%. Now that precipitation for some primarily off to the east, that's where the rain that moved through last night is headed. So northwestern Ontario, rain snow mix certainly as it warms up, more liquid form expected, but you might see a few scattered flakes of snow first thing this morning. Speaking of snow, that's what northern Manitoba can expect throughout the day today. A system that is currently in Saskatchewan will be pushing further east, arcing throughout northwestern Ontario, beginning later on midday or early afternoon through the northwest, and eventually making its way into the northeastern side into the evening overnight. Overnight, the sky will clear here through southern Manitoba, and that'll set us up for plenty of sunshine tomorrow. So while we might lose it today, it will be back again, and these gorgeous temperatures sticking around. In the Ingolf area near West Hawk Lake, you can see the ice beginning to form on the lake. Thanks to Mike for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break. We'll be back soon.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Exciting news for Winnipeg shoppers, all having to do with home hardware. Hang tight, we're going to get to it. Mark Colley is my guest today. He is the president of EPLS Group. First of all, Mark, let's give a quick overview of what EPLS Group is.
Thank you for having me here today. EPLS Group is a family-owned, 100% Inuit-owned company based in Nunavut, and we actually operate in many different industries as well as retail. And so we have 2 retail stores that are home hardware dealer stores in Arviat and Rankin Inlet. And today we're here to announce that we're going to be opening one in Winnipeg, which will be our first foray into the Winnipeg market. So we're very excited by it.
This is exciting news. As somebody who grew up in a rural area, I'm very familiar with home hardware. Let's give people maybe an idea of what home hardware is and what they can expect, perhaps if maybe they're city dwellers and don't know about it.
Well, I think that the first thing to note is Home Hardware is a Canadian-owned and operated company, and our store will be no different. Obviously, with the Blue Jays playing, a lot of people saw Home Hardware advertised, and they have over 1,000 stores across Canada. And because we had so much success with the 2 that we have in Nunavut, we really wanted to give back to the Winnipeg market because our some of our officers are actually based here in Winnipeg, that we felt like it was a good time to bring home hardware to Winnipeg.
All right. So, I mean, I guess that's a little bit the motivation behind wanting to bring it here to the city. For people that, again, that aren't familiar with it or maybe just saw it on the store, what is the store like? What's it going to be offering Winnipeggers?
Well, we're obviously going to keep the rural roots, and we're going to carry a lot of products for rural and urban customers. We have 30,000 square feet at our store at 2680 Pembina Highway, and we will have hardware, we will have sporting goods, we'll have farm supplies, we'll have everything that customers will want and need coming in from the country or just shopping from the city.
Yeah, and that great push for local, right? And I think especially getting into the holiday season, you know, people are wanting to support local. Let's talk a little bit about that effort.
Well, Home Hardware is known for trying to source primarily Canadian goods, and I think considering the climate that we're in right now with the business community, I think having a store that's selling local Canadian goods and having it being operated by Canadian employers is really key to us making decisions as customers in this current climate.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the opening and what that's going to look like.
So we are planning to have a soft opening on the 24th, where we'll have some special guests, but the main opening for the public will be on the 25th. So please come down, have a look at the store, talk to our amazing staff that are working there, and let us know how you feel about it. We've already got a lot of positivity from the internet, from some posts that we've done in social media, so we're super excited to bring this to Winnipeg.
Yeah, I've been reading some of the posts and the buzz online. People are very excited about this. People that are familiar are excited to, you know, see it coming here, and it gives something, you know, new for people that just want to be able to shop within the city but get that local product. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate having you here.
Thank you, Terry.
Good luck with the opening.
Thanks.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
0 degrees outside this morning, light winds out of the south. They're only 14 kilometers per hour. With the pressure falling, the humidity is sitting at 94%. Best chance of seeing some sunshine is probably right now, so throw that layer on, head outside. It's going to be a very pleasant day. We're still going to warm up a few degrees, but the sunshine may not last. While we're seeing it briefly, clouds will continue to build up throughout the day today. We had rain pass through last night. That has now moved off into northwestern Ontario, and you can see it showing up in mixed forms, some flurries, some freezing rain, and then some straight up showers. It will be warming up there, and then rain expected. But snow could be the case across northern Manitoba, where your temperatures stay just below the freezing mark, or maybe here in the northwest, a rain-snow mix as your temperatures are like honestly just below the freezing mark. Once you're reaching those highs, it'll start out as flurries, though. You're a little bit cooler first thing this morning. Nothing cool about our temperatures, starting out at 0 degrees and headed to a high of 5 this afternoon. Winds will be shifting slightly out of the west, but staying light. And yes, those heavier clouds will continue to stack up through the day today. But then they clear out overnight as we drop down to -1. -1 for a low temperature. So just for a reference point, -3 would be a normal daytime high, and -12 a normal low. So still dropping off, not even close to what is seasonal. The clouds starting to clear. That'll set us up for the sunshine that we'll enjoy tomorrow and back up above the freezing mark to a high of 3 degrees with a bit of a breeze out of the west, about 20 kilometers per hour. The plus digits and the sunshine will last through the week and into the weekend, even into the start of next week too. But Tuesday, things begin to change with some mixed precipitation, temperatures starting to drop, and it will cool down on the other side of that.
A group representing Manitoba consumers is raising concerns over Manitoba Hydro's request for a nearly 11% rate hike over the coming years.
Overall, the Consumers Coalition believes that these rate increases will be unnecessarily hard for many Manitobans.
Public Interest Law Center is representing the Consumers Coalition at public hearings over the rate application. The hearings began Monday. Hydro is asking for a 3.5% increase in each of the next 3 years. It means the average natural gas customer would be paying an additional $137 a year. For electric heat customers, it's another $362 per year.
Our client's view is that Hydro is essentially asking Manitobans to trust them when it files an application that shows, in our client's view, not enough efforts to reduce costs internally and relies heavily on placeholder budgets for significant capital projects in the future.
In its lengthy petition to the Public Utilities Board, Hydro says the increases are necessary due to drought and low water levels, aging infrastructure, and to maintain the debt ratio. In an email statement, a Hydro spokesperson says the utility strongly believes this proposal enables Hydro to meet its mandate to provide safe, reliable, and affordable energy while meeting the future needs of Manitobans. The spokesperson adds anyone struggling to pay their bills can request payment arrangements. Don't be alarmed if you get an alarm on your phone today. You should hear that sound at 1:55 in the afternoon. It's because the province is testing its Alert Ready system. Officials say the alert will be sent to televisions, radios, and compatible wireless devices. However, it warns not every cell phone will get the alert due to compatibility issues or cell tower coverage. The Manitoba government says the test is needed to ensure it will work efficiently during an actual emergency. For the second time in less than a month, Alberta is invoking the notwithstanding clause, this time over 3 transgender laws.
We've said previously that we're prepared to use every single legal and constitutional tool available to protect the well-being of young people. And that's why we'll be invoking the notwithstanding clause.
If passed, it will prevent anyone from challenging the province in court over the 3 laws. They were passed more than a year ago and affect transgender and gender-diverse youth in healthcare, in schools, and in competitive sports. Constitutional court challenges have already been launched against 2 of the laws. Premier Danielle Smith says the government is obligated to use the clause now to protect children. Last month, it was used to stop the 3-week-long teacher strike. An iconic building left in disrepair at Higgins in Maine is on track to get a facelift. Thunderbird House will be getting a major revamp thanks to a $27 million federal grant. As CTV's Harrison Shin explains, the announcement is bringing a healing to some Indigenous community members.
New hope is on the way to the Circle of Life Thunderbird House.
Everybody in the office was pretty ecstatic. Over a third of our employee workforce is Indigenous.
Director Peter Parkman's company Arrow will take on the repair of this building's copper roof. What started as a gathering space for the Indigenous community 25 years ago has become an eyesore at Maine and Higgins.
It deteriorated due to people stealing the copper from the roof during the pandemic. So that's the reason why the building has fallen into disrepair.
Thunderbird House was taken over by community advocates in May this year who said they wanted to restore its original purpose of cultural healing, gathering, and unity.
We've heard from members of the community that we didn't think we're aware of what was going on, and they've reached out and expressed their absolute joy that work is finally getting done.
Michael Red at Champaign once said in his blog, quote, "The health of Indigenous people in Winnipeg can be seen in the upkeep and maintenance of the building." He hopes for unity going forward.
I think the next step for the Thunderbird House is for both of the groups that have been active at the Thunderbird House, both at the board and at the Occupy level, both have opportunities to have their voices heard and their concerns raised.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Here's what's happening now in traffic at Portage at Polo Park. Looks like things are moving well here. The streets are dry and things appear to be going well. Here's a look at your gas prices. The lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.18. This info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now to check in on our question of the day. In the news today, some new flights from Winnipeg to destinations on the other side of the Atlantic, and that's leading to the cue of the day. We want to know, where would you want direct flights from Manitoba to be added next? Mark says he wishes there were direct flights from Manitoba to Europe and to Hamilton, Ontario. Marlene checks in with us asking for direct flights to Costa Rica in December, direct flights to Florida, and more options to Mexico and Vegas. And Lori wants to head to the Maritimes, asking for direct flights to Charlottetown, St. John's, and anywhere in Canada. Thank you so much for your responses. Let's go back now to Bozer, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning for Christmas on
I want my
Park.
direct flight.
That's your direct flight, yes.
Sorry to cut you off, Rochelle. We're talking about direct flights. We were saying, I think it would just be lightning speed, rocket ship to Bozer. I love it here. Okay, I'm gonna have to come here on Friday because the party on Park is happening. Kim and Jess join me now to tell us all about it. What can people expect this week and this weekend?
This week, all of our stores are going to be having sales going on, and we have like crackers and things like that you can open when you come to our store. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually shut down our complete Park Avenue here, and we're going to just fill it with, there's going to be a hay bale maze, there's going to be horse-drawn sleigh rides, there's a wagon driving around with a tractor from our museum. I think there's hockey games happening. There's so many things. They're dancing in the streets. We've got a tree that's going to be lit. There's all kinds of games happening, and I believe we're going to have a drum circle as well from Sandy Soto Center is going to do that, and just so much stuff. Mr. Claus is going to be here, and he's going to be at our Guardian, and so all the kids can come and meet him. Mrs. Claus will be at the Floral Merchant hanging out here, and you know, you can take pictures with her and stuff like that and get to ask her all the questions. So Sandy Claus will be here, and what else is going to be here?
Okay, maybe you can fill in the blanks.
So a lot of the businesses will be giving out little gifts, little games. There's some contests going on. The Enola School Choir will actually be here at all the fire pits doing some caroling, so that'll be fun. There'll be free hot chocolate. There'll be food trucks. We've got the Grinch will be here from Garson Hall, because it's not just a Bozer thing, it's a Broken Head Bozer. So the RM of Broken Head is also involved. Yeah, I think it's just, like I mentioned earlier, it's just a whole local family event.
Mm-hmm. And everybody is decked out so far, like from what I can tell. Look behind us, these businesses, yours included.
Yeah, no, decorating for this event is definitely a big highlight of our year. We started personally planning last January after our event. We take it very personal, so there is a contest. So with our passports that everyone can get, which gives you all the information of the event, with times, what each business and supplier is doing, and all the other things going on.
At a time, I'm sorry. No, don't apologize. I got to keep these two apart from each other because they're duking it out for the prize.
All right, thank you, Ainsley. Nobody's wearing gloves right now. You don't need them.
You don't need them. I actually put them on earlier this morning, but then it was like my hands were starting to suffocate. They're like, it's not cold enough for gloves. It's really not. It's so pleasant out here this morning, and we're even enjoying a little bit of sunshine. That's not likely to last. Heavier clouds will be moving back in again, but for the time being, it's looking good and feeling good. 0 degrees is where we're sitting right now with those winds out of the south, 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 94%. And yes, the clouds kind of cleared after some precipitation passed through in the overnight hours. If you're waking up to wet streets and wondering what went on, well, you can probably figure out what went on. It rained last night. Anyway, that system has moved off to the east. Northwestern Ontario can expect maybe a rain-snow mix or straight up showers as it continues to warm up through the day today. And then more precipitation, which is currently to the west of us in Saskatchewan. That will be moving up into parts of northern Manitoba. Later today, northwestern Manitoba begins to see the flurries. They'll arc into the northeast into the evening overnight. Now, overnight is going to clear out. These clouds, they'll continue to stack up. So pretty overcast conditions expected through most of the day today, but then clearing overnight and back to the sunshine tomorrow. And whether we have the clouds today or sunny conditions through the rest of the week and the weekend, we're expecting to be up into the plus digits for pretty much as far as we can see. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Good morning. It's long been thought that retirement should be comfortable and enjoyable. However, a new snapshot reveals many Canadian retirees are instead stressed about meeting basic living expenses. Here's CTV's Heather Wright.
The number of people living past 100 has more than doubled in the last 25 years. And for some, retirement is starting earlier and lasting longer, forcing tough financial decisions.
I think in the economy today, people have to keep working.
According to a survey from Manulife, 42% of respondents say they are worried about paying for basic expenses in retirement. That's up from 28% in 2020. 43% are worried about health care costs in retirement, an increase from 31% 5 years ago. And nearly half say their retirement savings are behind schedule.
That concern around day-to-day expenses, this is something that is a concern for pre-retirees and everybody. So it's not surprising to me that that would also be a concern going into retirement.
While the number of people retiring early is increasing, it's not always by choice. According to Manulife, only 15% of those who retired early did so because they had saved enough money. 33% retired due to their health, while 13% retired to care for a loved one, which is why experts say planning for various scenarios is key.
Disability is a reality as you get older, and especially amongst seniors. It's just really critical that we're planning for that.
Fiona Cassidy is among the 15% who retired early by choice. She says having a plan is key, and so is starting early.
Getting the benefits of accrued interest is, that's a smart way to do it.
Experts say another factor to consider when retirement planning is inflation. And while it dipped slightly to 2.2% last month, the cost of living is still putting a squeeze on those on a fixed income. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
The NDP government tabled its speech from the throne yesterday, laying out its blueprint for the next year. One of the announcements made includes the government wanting to ban employers from requiring sick notes from workers who are absent for fewer than 7 calendar days. Joining us now with reaction to yesterday's speech from the throne is Doctors Manitoba President Dr. Nichelle Desilets. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thanks for joining us. Now, you were really paying attention to the speech from the throne yesterday. What were you looking for?
So doctors are looking for the government to make a continued commitment to the number one priority of both doctors and patients, and that is healthcare. We had hoped to see a broader commitment to extend the successes that have been achieved over the past 2 years in terms of physician recruitment, but also to spread that and not forget about the retention of the physicians that we already have.
So out of the announcements you heard yesterday, how do you think the province did?
There's a few ways to retain doctors. One of the ways to do that is to reduce their administrative burden, and sick notes falls under that. We launched a campaign about a year ago, including a public campaign, and we've consulted with various stakeholders, including the employers, unions, HR experts, the public, as well as physicians, and everyone came to the consensus that low-value sick notes used to attest to a self-limited or mild illness are not a great use of the healthcare system and don't add any value to patients who already know what they need to do in those circumstances. So this is a great step forward on a path to continue that reduction of administrative burden.
And it looks also, the province announced a ban on mandatory overtime for some nurses. What does that mean to doctors?
Well, doctors work in teams. Ultimately, we're responsible for what happens to the patient, but we rely heavily on our teams, and that means having nurses at the bedside. I'm at work right now. I'm about to go into the operating room where I can't do my job without my team of nurses. And so I want my colleagues to have scenarios where the workplace culture is good, where they want to go to work. So anything that improves those things is a win. However, I do recognize that mandatory overtime in the past and double shifts has come from a need to maintain services. I work in a really small hospital, and I really care about making sure that services and the ER are open when patients need it.
Also, a charter of patient rights in healthcare was also announced, along with a new online portal for patients to access lab results. What do you think about that?
That's really exciting. Manitoba lags behind other provinces when it comes to making patient information available to the patient that owns it. So I'm really excited about this, but we just learned about it yesterday, and I hope to learn more of the details. For example, as a physician, I can't even access some of a patient's medical information, medical notes, things like that. So there's clearly a lack of infrastructure and technology to make that information available if those within the healthcare system can't even access it. So I think there's technological improvements that we can make across the board, but this is a signal to me that a patient-centered direction in this matter is being taken, and we're all going to benefit from it.
So overall, you are pleased with some of the things you saw in the throne, or the speech from the throne, but there could be more room for improvement.
That's right. I mean, all of the things that I've heard that pertain to physicians and healthcare, I think are positives. But like I said, we haven't heard the details yet, and we're really excited to continue the collaboration that we've made with the government. They took our advice on sick notes, and we appreciate that. And so hopefully that sets the tone for future relationships going forward, working out some of the details on sick notes, on how to handle mandatory overtime, the things that affect doctors' work every day.
Okay, well, thank you for your time today, Doctor, and sharing your perspective with us. And today is going to be another gorgeous day. No snow in the forecast.
No snow until next week. That's when we could begin to see some flurry activity here in Winnipeg. That being said, some parts of the province will see some flurries today. 0 degrees right now, and we are enjoying a bit of sunshine momentarily. South winds 14 kilometers per hour with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 94%. It was rain that moved through last night that is pushed off to the east of us. Here's where the snow will be making an appearance today. Currently in Saskatchewan, that'll be arcing up into much of northern Manitoba, beginning in the northwest, midday, early afternoon, moving into the northeast. Oh, here, I'll show you where it's going to be showing up for us. Nothing but sunshine after today. Today, some heavier clouds. It's next week on Tuesday. After a week or more of plus digits, temperatures start to fall, clouds move in, and that chance of a rain-snow mix begins it all after the temperatures continue to cool. We'll be back right after this break with your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Curling purists, you may want to look away. A minor league baseball team in Montana hosted a turkey curling night. It's all for a good cause. People who showed up can bring a turkey or pitch in $20 for a food drive. So what's it like curling with a turkey? Well, the sliding is similar, but it doesn't glide the same as a rock. Can imagine. And you may have no plans to own a donkey, but it's good to know there is a great resource available out there.
Introduction video to learning about donkey housing, how to set up your farm, vet care they require.
The Donkey Sanctuary of Canada has released a new online virtual tool about proper donkey ownership. Its first video is about care essentials. The second one is coming next month. It'll be about nutrition. More videos are planned next year.
Is this satire? Or is the fact that we're running a satire? Who needs a donkey? Who needs how to care for your donkey?
Right.
Okay.
They're cute, though.
Do you know what? They are cute.
They are.
I will say. We always, coming up probably in the next few weeks, somebody is going to send us a picture of the Christmas donkey. Like they put like the little reindeer. Anyway, I look forward to seeing that when you send it in.
Can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.